So, hello and welcome all. Hope my screen is visible to all of you. You
Yes.
may like to adjust your screen so that it can be made visible to you as well, so that you can see it more clearly. Maybe you can zoom in and pinch more. And welcome all. It's a Saturday morning, and today we would be touching upon a topic which is given the name NimblrTA ecosystem. Why is ecosystem attached to it? It is not a new tool, so don't worry about it. Ecosystem is basically intermingling of multiple components so that they all complement each other. So there can be multiple connectivity which is happening. The input of one tool goes to another tool, and it is readily available for the next tool to do the analysis, and so on. It goes to the next tool as well. So during this session, there will be three topics which I would be touching upon. One is Trigger Me bot. This is a Telegram automated bot which can help you analyze the stocks and set some levels. As soon as those levels are tracked, it will get the information and put it on your Telegram channel. So it is a Telegram bot. It's something which is very generic. It is not specific to any indices or any particular stock. It is something general how we actually track the prices. Second topic will be a real-time dashboard. So that real-time dashboard is another offering where we will search and find which are the stocks which we can take position into. So the first point is which stocks we look for, how we look for, and how we enter. The third part, we would be talking about the TradingView indicators, which can help you enter the stocks and also make a quick exits from it, right? So that is how you would be tracking your positions. So let's get started. On my screen, let me know if this is visible. I am on a screen where you see Trigger Me a Telegram bot. So is it visible to you all?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so as the definition is that it is an automated real-time bot service to track stock prices and trigger an alert once the levels are achieved. What this technically means is you are looking for an entry to the stock at a particular level, and you want to track that particular level. It can be based on an intraday, or it can be on a positional basis. So for example, Reliance, I would like to enter a stock for today's analysis on Reliance, and I would like to enter it below 2390. For example, current price is around 2401, but I would like to enter Reliance below 2390. So what would I do? Unfortunately, the brokers which I am using, they do not provide GTT orders. Right. As of now, there are a lot of discounted brokers in the market who provide GTT orders, but then they have their own advantage and disadvantage. For me, I do not have such a broker. Still a bit old fashioned on that. So I want real time alerts when a particular level is reached, and then I can try to track it and take a position into it, right? So that is where the tool started. For now, if I may ask each one of you, how would you like to track such a position? What tools would you use? Maybe a quick check can be of good to know something so that we can proceed further at this moment. So anybody of you, how would you like to track if you are having to take a stock Reliance at 2390, or when it touches the retest level at 2390, how would you like to take it? Any specific tools you would use, or any specific mechanism that you would be using it? Please feel free so that we can discuss and understand more. That is the whole idea of the discussion and having it live. Okay, so I would suppose, yeah,
There is alert system in TradingView,
yes,
so
wonderful, that's true.
that can be set and
Yeah, in Tradingview.
most of the brokers terminal are providing the alert system also.
Right, true. Any more suggestions if you would have, or any other technology that you would have used until now?
Algo,
Sorry.
through Algo, people are doing through Algo also.
Okay, and how do you enter the price levels over there in Algo?
See, the whatever the formula and everything is set in the algo is programmed or coded, that triggers at that time.
Right.
Through GTT order by the broker
Yes,
available.
GTT order is something which is available mostly with discounted brokers, and that is where the problem happened with me, since I do not have a broker. It's not a discounted broker; it's a regular broker, so it does not provide me GTT orders. And for me, I don't want to lose any position after doing all the analysis. So that is where I came up with a solution. As you all have mentioned that there are multiple solutions. It can be SMS. Earlier we used to have SMS based alert, so I send myself an SMS, but then I didn't find it very useful. I used to have a mobile phone and track that and then go to screen. It wasn't real time and it wasn't helping me much. It was just adding more systems into the whole ecosystem. So I didn't like that part. Then there are some websites which do offer it, but then they are the ones which either give you a pop-up, or at times they may give you a an email, right? So you would not be tracking your email IDs again and again. GTT orders is good, but at times I would also not prefer GTT. That is my personal preference, because if I place the order, next time I get a retest, what I would still like to do an analysis at that moment, if I would like to take the position, or I would just leave it and discard my position analysis at that moment, right? So at that moment when I'm putting my money, I would like to have a level of safety that I have put the level on 2390, but when the level has come 2390, do I still want to enter it, or I do see some kind of an overlap or something, as a sentiment itself has changed and it may go to 2370? In that case, I would not like to take the position, right? So what I was looking for was a control mechanism which is quick and fast, right? And as you mentioned, there could be algo systems that could do it, but definitely algo systems are doing wonderful. Only thing is that a normal user who doesn't have access to algo system, how would he do it? I want a solution for each one of us. That is what I'm just an individual, so I'm looking for a solution which is quick, which is easy, and it can be used by any one of us, right? We don't need a specific server or some other technology to have it getting started. So that is where the intent happen. And then I was checking on Telegram. The APIs have been extremely quick as compared to other social media websites and social media supports. So Telegram is one of the pioneer in the swiftness for the messages, and that is where it all started. And then I developed a system where I would have an automated bot, and it would track whatever your levels are, and it will keep tracking it until and unless those are reached, right? So this is a tool which will be of guidance when you're doing your technical analysis. It doesn't mean that the tool would give you some alerts that buy Reliance or sell Infosys or buy Tata Steel at this level. It will not give anything. It's a robot. You have to tell it what level has to be crossed. When that level is crossed either on the upside or on the downside, it will send you a trigger, as simple as that. So that is the main purpose, right? And this will be valid until unless either you remove that particular stock from the list, or you would like to modify or update that particular stock, right? So let's go on further. The intent probably is clear. In case you think that there's something which you would like to understand more, we can check that out. Otherwise, then we'll go through some features and then we'll see the actual demo of it, how it actually practically can be of guidance, right? So it has a dashboard access. It's real-time alerts, because obviously we are working in live market. So if I have taken an intraday position and I would like to track my stop loss, or I would like to track my ISL, or I would like to track my target, then I would probably put a level, and it should be quick enough. It should not take a minute or more, or it should just take less than few seconds, so that I can let the system know that this is my level. Whenever this level is reached, I will take some action on it, right? So it has to be doing things in real time. And then there should be kind of a watch list system. I would be probably tracking some other stocks as well for positional entry, for intraday purpose as well. And then also I would like information when pre-open is actually happening. That means when the market is consolidating in the morning till 9 7 a.m, till that time I would like to see if the price has crossed the previous high, so I can set a level greater than previous high level or less than previous low level. So at the point of pre-open itself, I should get some notifications so that I'm already aware that okay, I should take an impulse entry, or maybe I was supposed to take an impulse entry. However, because of some reason I would not be taking it because the trigger have not been aligned to my expectation. So that is the main purpose. I would just request each one of us to just mute so that the voice probably would reach everyone. Okay, thank you. Okay, so another system is that add and forget, that you just put the value and forget, let the system track it further. Whenever the levels are reached, it will let you know about it. And it should be simple and user friendly. Everybody should be able to use it. We talked about Tradingview, but unfortunately, a free account of Tradingview, which majority or 95% of individuals hold a free Tradingview account, that allows only one alert. So one alert is probably not sufficient for us to track maybe buy or sell levels even on one stock. We need at least two alert to track buy or sell. So that way, TradingView premium account, if you take, you're paying a money for them, then in that case you can go for alert system, or maybe even for a pro or a pro plus. But then for a free account users, how will they track it? So that is the solution which I thought across and I am also using myself, and that is what we are discussing as of now, right? So the name, as the name suggests, it's a trigger me bot. The name itself mentions that it is something related to your trigger levels, so you can track the stocks with alerts in real time. That is the whole purpose, and it's an automated bot for Telegram, right? This means that you can track the prices of stocks in real time. This also holds good for indices. You could have Bank Nifty, you could have CNX Pharma, you can have CNX Auto, you could have BTC USG, or any gold, US oil, or any other commodity as well. So it is a generic system. It is not specific only to NSE or BSE, but it's a generic system. First preference is NSE. If the stock is not found in NSE, we go to BSE. If it is not found, then it goes into the global directory itself. So for example, you would like to track Bitcoins, BTC USG. You can set a level crossing 29,400. You will get an alert. Below 29,300, if you set the alert, later on, whenever it is there, it will be available to you on your Telegram channel, right? So it is an automated.
Data for
Yes.
live data, or is there a data lag that is there for this tool?
uh, it's few milliseconds of lag because we are taking the data takes and then that is getting processed. So there are few milliseconds of data because this is processing something. The actual data is available and that is being processed and it is brought forward. So you can expect maybe 1 to 5 seconds of delay in such a thing. So yeah. So this is an automated real-time bot service to track stock prices and trigger Telegram alerts once the levels are reached. You can set alerts and let Telegram eye the price. That is the whole purpose. You set it. It will work for different financial instruments. As I mentioned, it can be equities, cryptocurrencies, commodities, indices, and so on. And when you are doing your technical analysis, this is a good tool to use because probably you would like to track an overlap or a no overlap. So below a particular level on 30 minutes, there's an overlap and you would like to close a position, so you can set an alert that is set below that level and it shall trigger the information. The most important thing is that it shall also consolidate information and give you at the point of pre-opening of the market. So at 9 7 itself, you will get some triggers that will help you. And it's on Telegram, so you can access it from anywhere, right? So let's quickly dive into the demonstration of it and understanding how it works. So there are some keywords to it. and how you would be accessing it. So I am over here on my Telegram screen. Let me know if it is visible. It's a Telegram web layout as of now.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
visible.
right? And accessing it is very simple. You can just write trigger me underscore bot. You can just search trigger me underscore bot. This is the username and join in. You would have to create an account, which is automatic by just typing slash account. It will guide you basically. So what all can happen, as soon as you reach this, you would write slash help. So there will be a help menu. So whenever you are monitoring something, you would like to have information of the system. That is, it will give you a welcome message and it will tell you how to use the system. QA basically refers to for quick add, right? So if I come over here in this particular slide, I would see a quick add and stock, and there's a trigger and there's a value. What does it mean? I want to instantly add a particular stock in my watch list, right? I'm a new user. I want to add Tata Steel uh, closing below 870 as my trigger price, right? So what I would do is, I would be on the system, I would write QA, in this case ITC greater than 224. That is all. I put this, I get a response ITC stock alert added successfully. And when I list, because once I've added it, I want to check what is there in my watch list. So this is watch list. It will give me the name of the stock, serial number, trigger greater than 224. As soon as it reaches above 224, I will get an alert. And even more than that, what would happen is, I would get an alert when it is in price vicinity. There's a tolerance attached to it. So like in NimblrTA, we follow a particular level of tolerance. Similar tolerance is added over here. So rather than having the price 224.1, I would get an alert. I would also get an alert when it is 223.5 itself. So it will tell me that the level has moved from an open state to a ready state, right? So this is something what is happening over here on the Telegram bot. So if you check, there are some open levels over here. These are my list of stocks which I've put. There are some triggered which have already been triggered, and there are some ready because this level is about to reach. It has not reached, but it is about to reach. So it is preparing me in advance that this level is about to reach. You log it into your broker or you be on the terminal and you can place the order if you want, right? It is not going to place any order automatically. It will just tell you on Telegram as it is doing right now, right? Any questions until now? Are you all with me? What is happening?
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question at the
Okay,
moment.
seems simple, or is it a bit complicated?
Yeah, maybe complicated for the coder, not for us.
Okay, fine.
For us, it seems simple.
Right, so that is the whole
Hi.
intent or the purpose. Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Uh, is it applicable to certain exchange only?
No, it is applicable to all currencies, commodities, everything. But we are using spot prices in it only. So there are no
No.
FNOs attached to it. But it will work for Bitcoin also. It will work for gold, silver, and indices and anything else as well.
Can I use it for like NYSE or Dow Jones?
Yeah, you can use it. So we can always track it. For example, I write quick add. Uh, there's a mechanism. This DJI greater than 10. For example, I put this as a value. So in this case, what would happen? It would try to check what is the actual value. So the Dow Jones value right now is 31288.6, and this trigger is not valid because it has already crossed 10. So it will not set. But if I want to set this level, what I would do is I will do this. I would write quick add DJI greater than 31289, right? I put this value. What would actually happen? You would see some messages over here which would be interesting. First thing is that it has added this, right? And if you list percentage over here DJI, it will show this is what it is added, right? So this has already triggered. this level already got triggered, right? And it will be cleaned up from the system very soon. And this is a trigger which happened. My price was 31289, which I had put. I want to get an alert when this level is crossed. However, since I mentioned that there's a tolerance added, that means it is within that tolerance value. The value is 31288.26, around 74 paisa less, right? So it has given me a ready information. But if the same thing I am providing it on a different level, it will put it on a different state itself. So if I put 330 over here, in that case probably I will see it in a open state.
Okay, thank you. I noted that.
Right. Similarly, for example, if I want to add Nifty, I want to add Nifty greater than 15,000, for example. This is a level I am tracking. However, it will tell you that if it is a valid level or it has already reached. So in this case, this is not a valid level. You will not have any information. But for tomorrow or day after, I want to track it. I will do it maybe 1600, for example, or 120. That is based on my technical analysis, right? So now if I track it, this has been added, and if I do a do list over here for Nifty, it will give the information what is the alert, and it is in ready state as of now. This one is an open state because the tolerance has not reached until now. When the tolerance is about to reach, it is within the vicinity of the price trigger, it will change the state and it will give me an information it is in ready state.
So basically, we should have a TradingView account with latest, data to
You
be.
can use any account, like it's not mandatory to have TradingView. You can use MB Broker, you could use MT4, you could use TradingView, you can use online messaging or online websites on your phone as well. So all you need
Sir,
is some levels to be tracked, because that is what it is tracking. So if you know what level you would like to enter, then it can be easily done.
So it's available on YouTube so that we can watch it later. This recorded version is there.
I am been recording the session right now, so this
Yes,
would
sir.
be uploaded later on, so you can refer to it as well, right?
So when it's by tomorrow, uh,
No, today itself, probably today itself by end of the day, I will upload it, and probably if you're already subscribed to YouTube channel, you would get a notification,
okay, okay, okay. Thank you,
right?
thank you, sir.
So what is another thing what is happening over here is that you could manage your own stocks. Another interesting thing is this is just adding and listing. Now there would be a point you would like to do some analysis with chart and add the chart, because if I'm adding a trigger right now and that trigger happens after 7 days, probably I will not remember what time frame it was. It was daily, weekly, monthly, hourly. What intent was there 1 week back when I analyzed that stock? That probably would happen with some of you as well. So over here, you would write slash add. This is another way to add. Quick add is just quickly add it. Add it, you can give some comments as well. So over here, for example, I have put add Hindalco greater than 508. Hindalco has been added. Later on, what happens? I have put the comment. If you see over here, I have the put the comment over here with a link. Next time, this link will be triggered to me. So whatever link or analysis I have done, that is the one which will trigger back to me. So I would know what analysis I had done in Hindalco 7 days back, and that is the chart it will print. Or if I want to have some kind of comments as well, right? So that again can be done. So it will make it more interactive, and then you could use it with ease, right?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Will this also show the option prices?
No, it will work for cash equity spot prices only, because options
Okay.
FNOs are derivatives, so it is not there because it takes a lot of time for processing them as well.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
we want the system to be quick, so that is why only stocks and equities and cash prices have been added to it. Maybe in
Okay.
future, probably that can be a good feedback to add it as well.
Thank you.
Right, welcome. Okay, so let's move further over here. So the idea of having this system is to track the stocks and see what all is in the kitty. So for example, over here I see Hindalco, it is in ready state, some of them they are in open state, some of them they are in um, um, triggered state. Trigger are basically the trigger is already complete, so there's nothing we are doing it. Ready state is it is within the vicinity of the price you are looking forward, so you are getting ready for it. It is telling you the system or the price level is ready to achieve your trigger. And once it has already triggered, the trigger will be removed from the system and you would not have that level getting marked because now it has completed its life cycle. If you want to see a specific number, so you could just go over here. It's easier, you do a list over here, or maybe if I do a help over here, I will see the information. And I want to check, or I want to check a particular price of a stock, or I want to remove it, so I can just remove it. So if I do a list over here now, I can see what all stocks are there and I can reset the levels for them. So for example, I wanted RPG Life less than 521.8. It is still open, it has not reached. So if I just track how I had added it, so I will just go over here, RPG Life, and if I just try to track it how I had added it, so it was on 3rd of July I had added RPG Life. It should go below 521.8, right? Stock was added. Since I use the add command, I am also supposed to give a comment to it, possibly, right? So how would I give a comment over here? I would just write comment and I have attached this link. So if you click this, next time I am giving a reference to it, what has actually happened, right? So this is the level I did my analysis on first. For example, this is start of first and I'm looking for a level of entry somewhere over here, 521, between these two, right? That is the entry I am looking for. So this is the chart which I had referred at that moment, and as of now that has been added, but it is not yet reached this level. Currently the price is 560 or so. So as soon as this level will be reached, I will get the same message over here and I will get a reached signal or a ready signal earlier before that, right? Similarly, how do we trade with it? So let me take an example, recent example of Everready. So Everready is one of the stock which was entered at around 315 and later on it is at 332 as of now. So how this was done, if you see, this is the reference. So this was a stock which was recommended or suggested by Dishma. So over here, for example, this is a chart which we have, right? And at this chart, this is a level, somebody did their analysis. In this case, Dishma, he did this analysis and he mentioned that dip around 310 to 315 would be good to enter, right? Now I know this is the level I would like to enter it. What happened? This is 30th of June, right? What happened on 1st of July? On 1st of July, I got a reached alert for Radico, which was probably my another alert, and it gave you the same chart which I had put. Similarly, I got the ready alert at 3:17 p.m. that it has crossed below 315 because that was the level I had put. And on 323, I got another level that it has actually reached below the triggered level. So this was a ready alert at, and after that I had approximately 5 or 6 minutes before it actually went below the main level. So ready alert keeps me ready on my toes to be ready with the broker terminal to set that alert. So this happened on 1st of July. But this could have also happened on 5th of July or maybe sometime later. So that moment of time, how would I know what is actually happening? That moment I can have these charts ready with me, right? Similarly, later on, what happened, we would also go through this dashboard. So this is on 14th. 14th we see Everready, it is 328 at that moment. So within a span of around few weeks or few days, around 2 weeks, it has regained that value. And this is how it actually did. It went up, it retraced down, it went up, retraced down, formed a compression, and now again it is at that level. So some levels have been booked accordingly. So the idea is it lets me know how and where to track it. Similarly, I'll take one more example before we move further, so that it may help you give more idea of how we are actually using the alerts, right? So let me take in the meanwhile, if you have any queries, then we can take that. Okay, so this, for example, is a retest example of retest. Let's go over here. Okay, so this is Wellcop. So this is way back in December. So that time Trigger Me Bot was recently launched and I was testing it. And that was an entry which I had taken at the indecision zone, right? So over here, let's see what was happening. So it was at 154. That was the level I was tracking earlier. So let's go over there. So this was Wellcop. I had done my analysis over here. At that moment, when I did my analysis, it was 174 at that moment. However, I wanted a retest entry or entry at a lower price. So I wanted to track it, right? So this is of 6th of December 2021. The stock was at 165. However, I wanted an entry based on my understanding of the concept and technical analysis, that I want an entry at 150 to 155. That is what I would like to take an entry. So what I have done at that moment, I have fed it onto the system. This analysis was done on 6th of December 2021, and 23rd it gave me a trigger over here. It is 152. So I have done my analysis 150 to 155, and that was done on 6th. However, on 23rd, approximately 15 days later, 2 weeks later, I get a trigger at this level, right? And how it would look like, I got an entry over here. It gave me ready Wellcop 155.7 on 20th. It reached the level at this moment, and since I have some time over here, 3 minutes time is more than sufficient enough for somebody to enter a trade. And then this was the comment I had put: ready, retest, this level has been reached. So I could easily take an entry based on 15 days back analysis on a retest, right? So that is the main purpose of having a bot which will track your levels. So for example, you could have any other stock as well. So we can put see Radico over here. I had put Radico. I can track the price. What is the price of Radico? Later on, it gave me a ready signal. It gave me a reach signal as well when the level is crossed. So this all happened and it gave me a ready signal since I put the alert earlier. So on 1st of July, I got the information that it is already reached or ready with the level, right? And later on it also reached. So if you see in both of them, there's a difference of around 5 minutes. 9:19 a.m. and 9:24 a.m. it was actually reaching above 880. Prior to that, it gave me an alert at 876 itself. So I'm prepared in advance. And what chart it was, I can just click over here and I can see what chart are these. This was the analysis I had done. So I wanted an entry above this value of 880.85 approximately. So I had put the trigger at 880 approximately. And when that level was reached above, I could take an entry because I have 5 minutes of gap between the ready alert and the reached alert, right? Hope this is
Hi,
clear.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Hello,
Jitendra
hello.
this
Good
side.
morning, all. Yeah.
Uh, Krishna, I have a question.
Yeah.
See, we know how to figure it out that the trigger bot is how it's going to work.
Hmm.
But the main important thing is we have to have some kind of a scanning system where we identify stocks which are retesting, which
Yes.
are actually
True.
having a breakout, which are
True.
actually having a breakdown. So
Yes.
if we start with this and then comes to trigger board, that okay, we have identified a one breakout stock and then we are going to have a trigger placed on it
True.
with the use of trigger board.
Right.
I mean, if you could make us understand in the such way that okay, I have identified a stock which is going up, giving a breakdown
True.
as per Nimbler systems. Then we come to trigger bot, and when we play, how we place the trigger, it would be more easy to understand and
Sure.
get
Right.
it very fast.
Right. Yeah, that's a
This is just
wonderful.
my view.
Yes, that is very true. Why I wanted to introduce it earlier, because then we would already know how NimblrTA works. Now, next part of this session is working on the real-time dashboard. So that is exactly what is going to answer your question, where the retest is happening or where exactly we would like to set the triggers. So this is with this part of the session, we understand that then there is a mechanism on Telegram which will actually give you some alerts based on your analysis which may have been done earlier. So same thing will work for indices and Bitcoin and anything else as well. So now let's quickly jump to the next part, which is a real-time dashboard. Right? Any questions for now? I think this should be more clear when we are looking into the real-time dashboard and how the execution happens for it. Right?
I do have another question.
Yes,
For
please.
example, in the index, we are having, say, 80 different companies. I'm just giving a small example.
Okay.
They could be like three, 400.
Mhm.
So every day, some of the other stock will do a cap. So is there a mechanism that we'll be able to, like 5 minute
Track it.
ORB,
Right, right,
something
right.
that we'll be able to find it and
Of
then
course, of
we'll
course.
take it trade on that?
Right. So let's come to the real-time dashboard. So to answer your query and the previous query as well, let's try to understand what real-time dashboard actually does. Okay. So if you go on the main page of the products over here, there's a product catalog over here, and there's a real-time dashboard link over here. So if we click it, we would reach somewhere over here, and this has a widget system. This is the next part of the session. The one tool which we have discussed until now is how to use the alert mechanism, which is something generic. It can be used as per our need, right? That is one possibility. Now, if you access it, it is very simple. We just go access it now. You click on it and you will reach a particular page, and you can create your own login to it. Since I have already logged in for the benefit of saving time during this session, it would look something like this. Well, for over here, this is a simple dashboard. We call it NimblrTA Realtime Dashboard. The purpose of this is to help you during your intraday trades as well as for your investment or positional trades, right? It's a widget based system. That means there are multiple strategies attached to it. So if you see over here, there are different strategies which are there, right? And for the simplicity, it is something very simple. I don't want this strategy. I will just close these, or I will minimize these, right? Let me just close all of them. It's a blank dashboard. If, for example, we are looking for an ICMC breakout on a specific uh, interval or time frame, how would it go? So if you see, we will go through each one of them to understand at least one stock, or quickly go through them, how it actually happens. So let's add some stocks in that particular range. Now I want to see which are the stocks which gave a daily ICMC breakout, right? So I will click this. That is all I want on this. I don't want any congestion. That is all I want. So I see Tata Consumer has given an ICMC breakout on a daily basis, right? And this, I will go to my TradingView account over here, and then I will check Tata just to verify is it true, and probably if at this moment I can apply the ICMC breakout as well, right? So if I apply that, in this case, I would get information of what ICMC breakout is actually giving. So it has given ICMC breakout, which is a true information as per real-time dashboard. Now, the whole purpose of this dashboard is it will tick or refresh after seamlessly after every 5 minutes. So 9:15, 9:20, 9:25, and so on. So it will keep refreshing itself. It's a seamless refresh. So you don't have to worry if the page will reload or anything. It will be a seamless refresh. And if you see the same thing right now, the markets are closed. And if you see the same thing at 9:20, you will see which stocks are getting into this particular bucket of daily ICMC breakout.
Can you change the time frame also, or it's available only for daily?
No, we can add. It is available. Like for example, if you see ICMC, search over here, you will see weekly, monthly, daily. Then you have 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Then you have indices breakout, hourly breakout. So I want 15 minutes of breakout. Maybe I am at the end of the session. I want 15, 30 minutes of breakout, or maybe 15 minutes of breakout, because maybe I want to assess what would be the stocks which could fly the next day. I am at 315 or 325 at that moment. Possible?
Will this thing also come? Bank Nifty, Nifty, and all that.
Yes. So if we add indices over here, it
Okay.
will give you indices as well over here, right? So ICMC concept remains same. Time frame has changed. So I see Tata Motors and Maruti have given ICMC breakout on 15 minutes. So I go to Tata or Maruti over here, and I am on 15 minutes. I would expect that there would be an ICMC breakout which is happening in this case. And at this moment, if you see, I have applied ICMC breakout indicator, and it has identified this is the IC, this is the MC, what is my target, what is my retest value. So I have already been prepared with it, right? Similarly, I am looking for indices giving alerts on 30 minutes, but at this moment, there are no indices on 30 minutes which give ICMC breakout. Similarly, I can have other variants as well, weekly, monthly. I can have uh, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, hourly, breakouts, right? So now let's see, I am on a week closing. I would like to see which are the stocks which give ICMC breakout on weekly basis. So these are some of those stocks. It is simple. I don't want this. I just minimize it. I just delete it, cross it. And then I just go to my widget. I add whatever I want to add.
So the stocks that are there, right? I mean, is it across mid caps, small caps, everything? I mean, you
Yeah,
say
it is basically majorly it is Nifty 200 and Nifty 500. Those are the ones. But then there are widgets where I am going into the more part of the cash equity, where it is complete mid cap and small cap as well. For example, sustained gap up. That is one of the widget, because I would like to track what is actually happening over there. So that also we would come. So it is a mix of Nifty 200, Nifty 500, and equity stocks in total, but on some of the widgets. Because if I give ICMC
can you
breakout
see the
for,
universe? Or, yeah,
sorry,
sorry for interrupting.
yeah,
I just wanted to check. Can you see the universe of stocks in this that this dashboard is referring to, or it's basically you configure it and
no, no, it is already pre-configured. Users cannot configure it. So you would not be able to configure it. But in case you find something specific in a widget you want to add it, then you could just reach me out, and the infrastructure is ready. So I just have to change the stock list from X to Y. So that
yeah,
is
but we
something
would know,
simple.
right? I mean, we would know what stocks are configured, correct? Yeah, that's something which you would know, correct?
Yeah, specific stocks you are wanting. So the
No, no.
whole.
My question is, if I want to know the list of stocks that is configured,
Mhm.
you would be able to give us that, right?
Yeah, I can let you know in which area it would work. So for daily and daily, weekly, monthly. So these are some stocks which are from Nifty 500, for example, right? And then there would be some gap ups which are there, sustained gap ups, for example. So in that case, if we see, these are sustained gap ups. So these are beyond Nifty 500 as well, right? It's
Sure.
a mix. It's a mixed bag basically. So you
Yeah.
pick
No, my question is just my question is very simple. I just want to know the list of stocks that
in the
this
widget
tool
itself.
runs on,
Yeah, yeah,
right? I
that
don't
can
want
be
to add.
provided. Yeah, you can probably reach me out, and then that can be provided in case you're looking for a specific widget. That also can be provided, right?
Yeah, thanks, Krishna.
Yeah,
That was my question.
yeah, yeah, not a problem. So if we see now on a very interesting case, weekly ICMC breakout retest. We are on a weekly time frame. This is a stock which is appearing, and it has given ICMC breakout retest. Hope we all know what retest is. So over here, if we see, this is where the ICMC breakout actually happened earlier. Okay, so I am on a weekly chart right now. Okay, yeah. So if you see over here, this is the ICMC breakout which actually happened, and this is another ICMC breakout. However, if you see, the level 874 has been crossed on the downside. It has reached 872. So I know at this moment when it is happening within a span of resolution of 5 minutes, at this on this week, during this week, that this is a retest which is happening, and that was exactly one of the entries which was taken. So let me just show it to you, maybe it will be of guidance. So this is the one which I'm showing right now. We call it the open portfolio. The purpose and the idea is very simple, that whatever is being traded, that is being captured for future references. Maybe individuals who want to take guidance from it, they can use it. They can also refer to how the selection criteria has been there, what has happened after the stock when it was taken, and probably understand what was the intent of taking or going into that particular stock. Right. So this is an open portfolio. The link is over here. That is also available on the main site in the quick start guide. So if you click over here, you would be able to open a particular sheet like this. Right. So this is where we are tracking all the entries or whatever trades we have taken, at least since 2020. I've been actively tracking it. Before that, it was bit haphazard and I was not tracking it. So then I have mentioned which are the stocks which I entered, what was the entry price, what happened later on, what is the CMP, what was the reason. It can be a synchronous momentum, it can be ICMC breakout, BO12, MI zones, because of candle count, because of no overlap, because of score, because of an impulse, MI zone, shunting. Multiple reasons could be there based on my analysis, and later on you can track what happened later to the stock, and then there's a reference. This reference is important as a kind of a valid proof that it has been given earlier and something happened. So on 6th, around 7 June over here, this particular stock was provided openly on Twitter and Telegram. So you can track it, what actually happened later to it. So this was the point when real-time dashboard helped me take in an entry at this level. So 1541. So it is at 1532 at this moment, and I'm looking for this level to be crossed. At this case, it will be very simple for me to add, I know Styro greater than 1541 on my Telegram bot. Right. As soon as I get it, maybe on this day or few days later, I will get an entry. Right. What happened later, then that again can be tracked on the basis of charts. Right. Okay. So coming down further, we see over here, for example, Nesco over here. Right. Or maybe we can also check some other stocks over here within this list which had been entered on a retest. So that retest is important because we would actually see. So Star Tools, this was a stock at 278 on 7th of July, right? If I click over here, what happened on to it is there was a retest which was happening on a weekly level, right? I was analyzing it and I could see that I can get 280 as a price over here, and this was the stock price at that moment, 280 at the closing of the day, at that is after 3 o'clock. But since I had the real-time dashboard, I had taken one entry somewhere around this level, right? So it was around 78 or 80 approximately. That was the entry, and there was a no overlap over here, right? Later on, what actually happened, it did a big high and then it went up till 293, and later on it can be tracked over here where it actually landed up. It went till 322 and current price is 267. Why did I take this? Because the idea is very simple. If you check this dashboard, ICMC breakout retest gave me this particular stock on that day, that it has given ICMC retest. I checked it, I found it interesting, I entered it, as simple as that.
So this tracker is something which you are maintaining, Krishna, or does the tool actually maintains that?
This tracker is a manual which I am maintaining. A tool is
Okay.
not doing anything. These are all personal trades, and those are being tracked because automation works on a different level. I am working on a different level, so those are tracked over here, and then you can track how many days have happened and annualized return based on that as well. So these are all openly available. This is not real time, so to say. So it is maybe by the end of the day I just track it, right? Okay, so okay, let's come down to the real-time dashboard. Hope this idea was clear for weekly retest, how it is happening, right? So in insecticide, for example, over here, it gave a weekly retest. Similarly, there are other formations. For example, tiny IC on 30 minutes. Where do we get? Daily, where do we get? Weekly, monthly. So these are very interesting because when you are actually working, if you see Tata Elxsi over here, now let me come back to my TradingView chart over here, and so if I come back to the chart over here, I would be able to identify what is happening on 30 minutes level. So this was on 30 minutes. I go to 30 minutes time frame. I see on a 30 minute time frame, there's a tiny IC which is formed over here. Can you see this blue dot? This is available on ICMC breakout as well as NimblrTA tracker as well, right? So now what is happening? These are the levels. So next day, if I am interested, there's a shunted range over here or on the downside. Probably I would like to take a trigger based on how it opens below or above the levels for tiny IC. Right. So this is on 30 minutes. Similarly, you would have daily tiny IC, which is there, weekly tiny IC. So Tata Motors is giving a weekly tiny IC. Next week when it opens, it will be interesting to see where it goes on the upside or on the downside. So let's see over here. I get the range over here. So if it goes above 441, probably it will be on the upside. If it goes below the level of 423, which is marked over here, it will probably do another retest, or it has already done a retest over here itself. So possibility that it can go either ways, right? So that we will track on a lower time frame, on a 30 minutes time frame, how it is actually behaving. So I see that CCI 3430 is in hyper momentum over here. This is another indicator. We are not specifically talking on this indicator since now the focus is on the ecosystem altogether. But then this also comes as a part of an indicator where you know that ICMC breakouts are happening or tiny ICs are happening and where the momentum is actually there, right? Let me know if I'm being bit quick because I wanted to cover most part of it and we are almost at an hour from the starting of the session. So maybe I might have to extend a little bit if that would be okay with you all.
It's fine. It's fine, Mr. Khanna. Not
Okay.
a
Excuse
problem.
me.
Yeah.
In this, the previous chart that you showed, there is these indications that are coming of stop loss, the targets.
Hmm.
This is a feature of the ICMC breakout.
Yeah, this is based on ICMC breakout, right?
It is not available in the tracker.
Tracker and ICMC breakout, if you see, there's one subtle difference between NimblrTA tracker and ICMC breakout. If you see
Okay.
ICMC breakout as an indicator, it will give you details. It will give you
Right.
information of ICMCs and tiny IC in detail. What is the target? What is the stop loss? What is the retest value? Even for tiny IC, it will give you where the targets are, where the stop loss are. It will give you detailed information, but only for ICMCs and tiny
Okay.
IC, right? Now, when we are going for NimblrTA tracker, so let me just take you through a glimpse of it first, and then it will be easier.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
So
Thank you.
yeah. Okay, so let's open it. So NimblrTA tracker would basically give you an overall picture of the stock. It will help you in quick entries and swift exits, right? For example, if I am on this particular stock and I have applied NimblrTA tracker, so on 30 minutes, it will identify a lot of things. If we come over here, you can disable these labels and all, right? If you don't want this, you can have buy and sell labels. You can have close value. For example, you don't want ICMCs or tiny IC to be marked over here, trespassing to be marked, you can disable them. If you don't want zigzags, you can disable them. If I want zigzag, which matches to the recent Canva session which Dishma had, so it will give you high and low. If you see it created a lower low, this level has been crossed, and then it gave me a buy at this level, and it is still a buy. It has not given me a sell on a 30 minutes. So it will help me doing the entry in a quick possible manner, and also it will tell me to exit in a quick possible manner, right? But it will not give you the details. It will not tell you what is the target, but instead of giving you the target, as soon as the ISL is getting hit over here, or an overlap is happening, or trespassing is happening, it will tell you there was a buy, now it is a sell. That is what it will actually do it.
Actually, I'm using this TA tracker system.
Right.
I have a query that what are these arrows? Like if you see the
Yeah, these
previous
arrows. Yeah.
four green candles. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you note it over here, there's a black arrow over here. Black
Yeah. Yeah.
arrow means that it has crossed on the upside or downside of the previous range. So over here, it is 435.85. If you see it over here, that is one of the range. Can you
So
see
sort
this one?
of track that.
So it has crossed on the upside. So that is why it is giving an upside arrow, black arrow,
Okay. Okay.
right?
Okay.
That is the
Thank you.
information. When it goes on the downside, it will even show you some indication on the down arrow over here. Higher
Right.
high 425 was crossed on the upside, it gave you a upside arrow over here,
Mhm. Right. Right.
right? So it
Thank
is
you.
giving you basically quick entries and swift exits. That is the main purpose over here. So if I take you through this particular page over here, so this is something how it would look like. So the idea is very simple. It will give you information on ICMC, tiny IC, impulse, PSAR, and different components of the system, right? It will not basically tell you the details of it, but it will give you buy and sell levels based on that. So if you see, this is something which is available on the product page. So this is where it gave a sell, it gave a buy over here. And until then, it has not given a sell. This is monthly chart. This is probably a weekly chart. It gave a sell, it gave a buy over here. This is again a chart which is on daily basis. It gave a sell. At this moment, it gave a buy, it gave a sell. So the idea is it is helping you enter quickly and exit swiftly. That is the whole purpose of it, right? And it will work on any time frame, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whichever time frame you want to use it. So that is the main purpose of trackers, and that is the main difference of tracker and ICMC breakout. It will not give you the details, it will tell you when to buy and when to sell, and it will analyze more components. It will analyze
Tracker is a
impulse,
superset of
stress.
ICMC breakout, is it?
Yes, you can say the other way, that ICMC is a subset of tracker. In that way, maybe it will be more suited, because ICMC breakout is just one part. But when you have overlaps and other things, waves and trespassing, impulses, so those will not be tracked, and it will work on high-low levels as well and closing levels as well. So impulse, that is where it actually happens, right? We will come to this when we are analyzing more widgets, right? Okay, so now for example, ICMC breakouts we have covered. Now there are positional swings. So this is something on a positional basis. There would be individuals who would like to enter stocks on positional basis. So this, for example, these are the stocks which qualified positional swing, right? That is the recent previous high has been crossed on the upside and it has strength. So let's see TVS Motor over here. Okay, and if you see this on a daily basis, this candle it gave a sell, and next candle, subsequent candle, it gave me a buy. But if you, this is on a daily basis, that is why you are seeing adjustment. But when you are on actual day basis, then how would it actually work? Then that we can do a small simulation in case you allow me, and then we can try to see how it actually did it, or maybe we can do it on 30 minutes just to save time, right? So this is NimblrTA Tracker. which is again a part of the ecosystem. And I can do a quick replay over here, somewhere from over here, which is a previous day, and it will give me buy and sell signals. I want to enable all these, that is perfectly fine. In case I want to disable this, that is also okay, right? So right now, of recent, it is giving me the information with respect to the recent buy and recent sell. I can add more values to it based on number of labels I want, but then historic values I'm not interested, since I'm trading today right now. So recent buy and sells make more sense to me to track. Now, if we try to go further over here, it has given me a buy, right? This is on a 30 minutes basis. So I would enter one part over here. And even if you see, there's a triangle arrow. It went above the previous high level, 858. It gave me a triangle arrow. Then it gave an ICMC breakout, but it is still within the range of this IC. With me until now? Is it okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay, fine.
sir, sir, give me the example with the Nifty or Bank Nifty.
Okay, we can take another example if you want. So yeah, that is it will same bank nifty. If we see over here now, if you see over here what actually it did at this level, let's see for the other day. For example, I am over here, and this was the previous day tiny IC, right? And we all know when the tiny IC burst, we need to check where it is going. So in this case, it gave me a buy as the tiny IC was crossed on the upside. It gave me a buy. Another reason for buy is this tiny IC over here, which has been crossed. And if you see the same thing on a line chart, you see impulse has been formed, previous high has been crossed. This is the previous high. How would we track it? So that is the whole purpose of tracker, to make it simple. I remove this levels, right? And instead I enable close levels. So it will tell me the close levels as well. So at this moment 15972.45, and I am at 15980. A lower low has been formed over here. A lower low has been formed, which is 15858, a lower low. And this level also has been crossed on the upside. So what would it be? It was a sell till since over here. Now it is a buy. So if you want to reverse your position, you will close it, you will reverse it, and it is giving you a buy at this moment itself. Now let's see on the line chart how it actually gives, because it becomes more clear in the line chart as well. So it gave me a buy, it gave me a sell, and then it is taking support, and it has given me a buy later on at this moment. So I have entered this level, which has crossed on the upside, and then it has gone on the upside. It has not given me a sell. This is on a 30 minutes basis. The same thing can be checked on a 5 minute for minute details as well. How overlaps is happening, or where it give me the buy or sell levels.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, please.
What is this yellow line, yellow this thing zone?
Uh, okay, let me remove the drawings over here. Okay, the orange line, you are saying this orange line, that one was my drawing. I had it, but this orange line is the open line. So let's
Okay.
take an example of Hindustan Unilever. Let's go over here, because then we can map the dashboard also accordingly. Otherwise, we would have to.
Devi ji, can you silence or can you
Yes,
mute your
maybe we
speaker, please?
can just keep it on mute when we are not talking. Yeah, thank you. So if you see over here, I have added a widget, open analysis. Open analysis, if you go back to Deshma's tweet sometime earlier, sorry. So you would see how open analysis is done and how powerful open analysis is. So I see some stocks over here, Maruti, Hindustan Unilever. These are the stocks I would be tracking at 915, 920, 925, because that at the point open analysis has been done. So for example, Hindustan Unilever, if I come to that particular stock, Hindustan Unilever over here, right? And I am on 30 minutes just to save time. Tracker will allow me to place the horizontal lines over here, right? If you see this closely, the recent line which happened over here, open line. This is the previous day open line. This is the open line on the prior day on 13th. This is on 14th, and this is on 15th. So they, if you see it closely, the recent open is greater than the prior open and also the previous open. So that is why it went into the open analysis. And if I'm trading it, how would I trade it? I would like to check it on a 30 minutes chart, for example, over here. Right. So how will I get to know which stocks I have to use? I will use this real-time dashboard. So I get Hindustan Unilever. I will come to a trading platform, maybe Tradingview or any other which you may be using it, and then you will try to see what is actually happening over here. So you see there's an arrow on the upside because it has crossed the previous level of 2522, and immediately there's an arrow on the downside. This is on 30 minutes, but the same thing if you fine tune it on a 5 minutes level, you will be able to identify where that actually sell was given. So if you see over here, this was the point where sell actually happened, which is much faster than your 30 minutes, because 30 minutes formation is still happening. It has not completed. But at this moment itself, you have a sell signal while this candle is in the making. And when you track it that there's a sell signal, I got a buy signal over here, I have a sell signal over here, I can see this is a momentum candle, this candle is trespassing inside the body, then it can reach the open line. That is bare minimum I can see over here, right? And this is a level, it can act as a support. I will go on 5 minutes chart, and probably I would like to close my position which I had already taken earlier. So, or the position which I had taken this day on a 5 minutes basis, I would like to close it and seal my profit, or at least one part I would like to book it over there. Are you there with me? What I intend to say, we are switching time frames over here. So you entered at a closing basis 2542, for example, one part, and then 2553 approximately, or as soon as this went inside this body around 2563, you will have a sell over here, and then it closes at 2553. So you can seize your profit on a minute level of time frame differences. And the same thing, if you see it over here, you see a sell over here. What happens later? Let's see, or let's track it after we got the signal on the higher time frame for sell. What actually happened here? It went down, it crossed the open line on the downside, and now which is the next line it has reached? It has reached this particular level, the previously open line. Are you able to note it? Just low level of this is 2502. And what is the open line of this? It is 2502.95. So it has reached the same line, open line of the previous day. At this point, it has done the trespassing, it has taken support, it has gone up. Let's see how it went up. So let me take it further over here. So it has gone up at this moment, it went below this line, it touched the open line over here, and then it went up. If you see over here, there's a no overlap which is there. If you can just try to see it, there's a no overlap range over here which has actually happened. And if I enable this, you can see it more clearly how it has actually happened, right? And then if I see what actually happened, it gave me a buy at this moment, and since then tiny ICs have been there, there's a minor sell over here, then a new position. So it is every 5 minutes it is guiding me. Same thing if I check it on a 30 minutes basis, because that is what we are doing, there's a no overlap on 30 minutes as well. And if I move further, I have a position based on lower time frame fine tuning, and I got an entry quickly over here, right? So I got an entry over here, and then I am tracking it on the higher time frame. And also if I see the CCI is in high momentum, then I would not like to exit this stock because it has already gained momentum and it has momentum as of now, right? So this is based on the open analysis. Similarly, indices view, it is something very simple. Which are the indices which are hot as of now? So during the trade, you would like to move with the sectors. So Nifty Auto is something which is on the rise, right? So if you see Nifty Auto, it's giving you a glimpse of what sectors are moving. Auto, FMCG. So you would like to align yourself to auto sectors. If even if you see over here, you have MRF, you have other stocks where you have Tata Motors, you have Maruti. So those will be evident when you are doing your analysis over here as well, right? So it is giving you an indices view that auto sector is on the buzz. So you should look for auto stocks. Now, if I'm looking for synchronous momentum, right? Synchronous momentum, Rico Auto, which is again from auto sector, Bajaj Auto, again from auto sector. So why? Because auto sector is rising over here. So let's see Bajaj Auto for over here, how synchronous momentum has come. Maybe I'll request individuals to mute. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, so if you see over here, something similar happened on a 30-minute time frame. There's a big candle, it trespassed inside, it reached this ICMC level. I can track this ICMC level, I can increase this level as well. I want it further to be increased, right? For my analysis, where did it actually reach? So if you see this ICMC on the downside, this ICMC which gave me a level over here, so that has been uh, changed by an aura constant over here. So it gave me a sell. I went on the sell side over here. It gave me a buy, and since then I am on a buy signal. Similarly, if I see on the auto side, or sorry, on the higher time frame, weekly, what happened on it, or if I see a monthly chart, where did it give me a entry on a monthly chart? So it gave me an entry over here. It gave me multiple retesting of the resistance over here. It has reached the ICMC over here, which is again a resistance. If it crosses above this, then probably I can go upside until 4361. This is the level which is marked, right? So that is one of the information I'm tracking it on 15 minutes level. What is happening? It is telling me when to enter, when to exit. Same thing. So it is telling me there, this is the point you entered, this is the point you exit one part, because it is candle shunting. Next candle, it is trespassing. If you see these pink arrows and blue arrows, it is going on the upside, right? So it will give you buy and sell signals, but then if you want confirmation, obviously you would have to use higher time frames in that case. So this was an example of synchronous momentum. Why synchronous momentum? Because if you go on a daily time frame over here, right, and if you see these CCI values closely, so the CCI values which we had earlier and the CCI values which we have now, those have got synchronous momentum. Momentum has come on two different time frames. If you see, we have 78, 120 and 68 over here. This pane, if you are able to map this on daily, weekly and monthly. But if you see it, what happened later on, it gave me daily also got in momentum. Weekly was already in momentum, but daily also got me momentum. So you have two different higher time frames which are in synchronous momentum as of now, and that is why you see a surge over here, right? Similarly, what all are the other stocks? So this is an example, Rico Auto. If you see this, similar thing, because auto is which is buzzing as of now. So if you see this, you would be able to identify how it is actually happening, or how this is actually getting triggered. Now if I would like to enter this particular stock, where would I probably see an entry on an hourly basis? If I see, so probably I may want to enter somewhere over here, right? So let me just disable these lines, because then at times when I'm doing my analysis, I don't want those specific lines. I'm just looking for open lines. And now at this moment, if I see, I just draw a horizontal line, I write 4503. So what I would be doing it, I would be going to my trigger me bot at this moment, and over there I would just write quick add, or let me add with a comment, add Rico auto less than 45, right? I put this as a comment, and what basis is the comment I would be putting in? I will go to this particular chart. I would copy the link to the chart over here, right? And I will come back to my trigger me bot. I would write comment this entry, or maybe I should be doing this, for example, open in another chart tab. Okay, this is the link which is getting generated. Yeah, so This is the link. Next time when I will track the entry, I will see this chart on my Telegram channel over here, right? So I will put this and I will put entry, and that's all. So this is the chart which has actually happened. And if I want to see what has been provided, so I can just show. So this is what has been added to my, so when I will get the alert reached or ready, I will see this chart. I can click on it. I can reach this chart anytime later, 1 week later, 2 week later, three week later. I can give some comments to it. So now I am ready with my triggers as well. So I don't have to worry that, okay, when Rico Auto has been done, I have done my analysis today. Based after 2 weeks later, I can get the alerts as we have seen, right? Similarly, so this basically forms an ecosystem. Now coming to something as a positional pullback. So these are the stocks on positional basis, they are giving a pullback, right? So they are already in momentum and they have given a pullback now and they are started to rise further. So let's see Maruti over here. Let me know if I'm going very fast. Okay, so this is the NimblrTA tracker over here. I am on a daily chart, daily closing basis. This was the entry. Hourly basis, it will obviously fine tune you further. So this was the entry. This was one exit. Then there was another entry because it trespassed further into this body. And since then there was another one entry and then it is still going on as of now, right? So you have to take care of these arrows because these are ITB and OTB, in candle open, trespassing. So these are basically marked by these triangle arrows. It went on the upside and over here it gave me a trespassing. It went on the downside. Then again it went into the body of this candle and went on the upside, and then it continued the move on the upside on a hourly basis. Right. So now if we check positional pullback, that is what we were trying to see. So I'm on daily chart, right? If you see over here, it has given a pullback. It has given a pullback over here. How do we check that? We have the CCI indicator over here. I enable it. And if you see where exactly it has given a pullback. So this is a pullback which is actually happening. Your higher time frames, that is daily, weekly, monthly, those are in momentum. But the levels on the CCI 8 have reached on the downside. So that is a positional pullback and it has resumed it right. It went, it created a lower low at this level. Previous high was crossed on the upside. And that is where your NimblrTA tracker gave you a buy because it gave you an impulse entry in this case. Are you with me or I'm going very fast?
So this positional trade, right? The widget. So
Mhm.
Krishna, right? So it's based on what strategy as such?
Yeah, it is based on CCI basically. So
CCI.
yeah, CCI. So if you see TVS motor over here, so same thing, similar thing, not same obviously. So if you see over here, you have already got a pullback over here, right? You have got another pullback. This is CCI 8 value. So you are getting a pullback over here. That is where it is assessing the strength of the candle is already there on the higher time frame, and it has done it slow, and now it is moving on the upside, right? Similarly, for example, UBL over here, it has also qualified for a positional pullback, right? Although probably it did not rise much on the other day, but then this again is one way. So if you see over here closely, you see there's a minor lower low which was formed, lower high was formed, this range was not broken, but later on this range has been broken. And during this range itself, it has given a pullback. Higher time frame is already in momentum. If you see this daily, weekly, monthly, these are already on momentum, and at this moment it gave you an entry and you got a buy, right? But if you fine tune it further on a daily chart, you will be able to see how it gave you an entry. It gave you an entry at this level. The more you fine tune on lower time frame, you will get better entries. Entries and exits are always on the lower time frame, right? But the trend has to be seen on the higher time frame. That is why positional pullback, you have to check positional momentum on positional levels, the higher time frames, but entry has to be made on the lower ones as per the concept we are following. There's a triangle arrow because it has crossed on this level. So these levels are greatly easily marked over here. If you want zigzag, we can just go to this setting. We can mark it further.
Do you get these levels on ICMC breakout also?
No, ICMC breakouts you will not get. ICMC breakout is a different indicator that will not give you these levels. That will give you the details of ICMCs basically, right? So if you see over here closely, now do you see some Binet formation over here? So you have lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low, lower low. It started like this, and it's a Binet formation, and the activation happens at this level over here. But you got the entry over here because you were using it on a daily time frame. You got the entry over here based on ICMC breakout itself. So ICMC breakout also will tell you this entry, right? If you are using it. However, if it had been a different entry based on impulse or overlap or something else, then ICMC breakout would not capture it because it is intended only for ICMC breakout, right?
Krishna, can I ask a quick question,
Yes.
please?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, do we just need these two indicators, or how many indicators do we really need? Because is any data dependent on the other indicator? That's what I want to know.
See, it basically depends. If you see, right now I have just enabled MI zone. You see, this is a big zone which is there. This red zone, this is acting as a support. So I use MI zones because I can see where the zones are. I can see support over here. If you see it over here, this is the support, right? And this is the resistance. Can you see targets automatically? That this is the support
Yes.
at this range. It is the support. Right. So it becomes easy visually. I don't have to do anything. I know that ICMC breakout is there. And if I apply this, I get a buy over here and it is at support and it is forming a binet. Why will I not enter it? I will enter it. I will enter it for this level first, then this level. Later on, I see this level has been crossed. What is the next level? This is the resistance level and I see an IC over here. I'll use an ISL over here. I will exit. So to answer your question, it would actually depend on the individuals, right? I would, if you are very comfortable with ICMC breakouts and you are only looking for ICMC breakouts, you use them over here, right? Even if you use ICMC breakout, there's nothing wrong or right over here. You can see where the breakout is happening. So let's see over here, you had only ICMC breakouts. How would this be interpreted? So you got a downside ICMC breakout and later on you got a buy signal over here. Right? Similarly, it will go further. So at this stage, you got multiple buys because there are multiple ICMCs, right? So it is helping you track your position, but only basis on ICMC, which if you are okay with it, that is perfectly fine. However, if you are looking for other components as well, like waves, impulse, you are looking for CCI interpretation because positional pullbacks are there. Based on that, it will give you buy and sell. So lot has been coded behind the tracker, but visually it has been kept very simple. We don't tell you that it is a reversal entry, it is a pullback entry, it is a entry on a higher time frame, lower time frame. It is just as simple as buy, as simple as sell, because we don't want to complicate the things for the user.
Yeah, so if I just use a combination of NimblrTA CCI and the tracker, that should
Yes,
be sufficient to begin, right?
yeah, that should be sufficient. That should be sufficient, because over here you will get the informations of waves. Over here you will get the CCI. So CCI is something which we started NimblrTA concept with. So that is the heart and the core of all the codes. Without that, probably I can never do any trade. So I must see the health of the stock. If you see, this is green. This is the health of the stock.
Mm-hmm.
Positionally is green. Let's see some other stock. Maybe uh, can you tell me, suggest some stock? uh,
No,
PNC
so,
Infra
so,
maybe.
so the question
Yeah.
which I had
Yeah.
was, In case if I've not plotted the NimblrTA CCI,
Hmm.
is there
Hmm.
any dependency on the NimblrTA
No,
tracker where it is dependent on that
nothing.
data?
All of them, they are independent. All of them, they are independent. They can coexist with each other. That is why they form an ecosystem. What we are discussing, a Telegram based bot system. We are discussing the real-time dashboard. Real-time dashboard is the purpose is only to give the screening, but it depends what screener you want. You are looking for impulse alert, so you could enable impulse alert from over here. And then tracker is the one which will actually help you be in the trade. It will hold your hand and tell you buy here, no you should sell here, the next candle, no again you should buy here. It will help you prevent your profits. It will help you conserve your capital, right?
Thanks, Krishna.
Okay, welcome. Okay, so you see, if NimblrTA CCI is used, this is an orange color, which indicates the health of the stock is not green. So it doesn't have momentum over here as of now, right? So that is how it will actually guide you for working, right? I'll just mute few individuals. Okay, it will be clear now. Okay, so now let's come to the part where we want to see where we have the in candle open or freshly alignment has happened. So fresh alignments are based on EMA, and we are tracking fresh alignments over here, right? So for example, over here you see Ingrand over here, which has given a fresh alignment. What does it mean? That CCI is in momentum and EMA also has aligned in a particular fashion as per NimblrTA, right? So let's see how it actually happened. I will go to Ingrand over here, right? And at this moment, I don't want so much information. I will just disable it. This is giving too much information. All I want is EMA information. That's all, right? Now, if you see it, you see the three EMAs, orange, blue, and green. Here, if you see the orange is followed by blue, it is followed by green. It is a fresh alignment, and that is where it gave you an the signal on the dashboard. And you already have a buy based on in candle open, or sorry, trespassing. This is not in candle open. It has trespassed into the body. But if you see ICMC breakout over here, you will get the indication over here because ICMC has formed over here. It will give you the details. But if you use NimblrTA tracker, it will analyze and give you an entry faster. Quick entries, swift exit. That is the intent for it. Right. So you see it has already given one entry. One part you will enter over here and then you trail the rest. And if it trespasses inside, you exit it. So you know this particular stock has created a freshly aligned system on EMA. So that is what it has done. Some other stocks as well, right? These are from the bigger space. We were talking about Nifty 200, 500. These are from the bigger space. I normally don't trade these spaces, but then it's good to know, and maybe some individuals would like to track these as well. So that can be done, right? So any queries until now? How the widgets are being used? Now we are not. We don't want these widgets. We have already probably discussed all these, right? Now,
Any example of shorting on the TA?
NimblrTA tracker, the tracker.
Yeah, on the based on CCI,
Yes, it's the same logic.
because we
So
saw orange color, right? Is it red also?
yes, of course. You're talking about CCI, right?
Yeah,
So we
CCI
could see
strength
some
and trading
stocks.
downwards.
Yes. We can just see some stocks which are not doing so well. So then maybe if you have some stocks, you can just let me know. We can see Bandhan Bank over here. How it has been doing. It is in blue health. Similarly, they are red also. BPCL, I think the other day it was red. BPCL,
What
BPCL.
is blue color then?
These are four different quadrants. So let
Okay,
me,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
for RRG, relative rotation graph, it basically tells you that the life cycle of the stock can be either extremely bullish, either extremely bearish, which is this red color. It can be
Mhm.
blue, which is losing the fizz and losing the strength, and it can be all on the higher side, which where it is increasing the strength as well,
Mhm.
right? So if I am on BPCL right now, right, I am on a daily chart of BPCL. So in this case, I would not like to enter BPCL for a buy entry. Even though I may get buy entry over here, but I see weekly and monthly, which are the higher time frame, it is highly in sell momentum. Then why would I take a positional? Even though minor, if I check over here, it has probably created a lower low and a previous high has been crossed. But then based on the higher time frame, I will not take an entry. Although as per impulse definition, you would be able to see that there's a lower low over here and this is a high, recent high. It has been crossed. But then I will not take it. I will probably like to take it somewhere over here at this moment. Why should I trade a particular stock which has no
Lower
momentum
momentum.
on this side? Let it cross this 10 12 point. Why should I worry about that, right? I have so many widgets over here which I can easily use,
Mhm.
right? So that is the reason this ecosystem can become handy for individuals who wish to use it, right? So now if we come further, did I answer your query? Sorry, I
Yes.
forgot to ask. Okay,
Thank you. Yes.
sure. Okay, so
Krishna, one quick question
yes,
again. Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Where do we really have access to this dashboard? How do we access it?
Basically, how do you get the access? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just go on the site. There's a access it now button, right? And as soon as you click it, it will take you to the link. It will ask you to create a login. So let me just open it in a new tab, for example. So you just click over there. It will take you over here. You can just create your account over here, right? You can just create a account
Mm-hmm.
and you log in with your account and click the button which is access claim. So that's a preview period of few days which will be given to you, right? You can use it for a preview period. Maybe for a couple of days you want to use it, assess it,
Mm-hmm.
and try to understand it even better. So that can be done.
So do you get all the widgets?
Yeah. There's no differentiation in what widgets you get. The whole purpose of this is that you are getting the information, whatever you want, uh, timely during the market hours. So how to access it? This is basically you just click over here and click register, and later on you must click the enable access button, because when you click the enable access button, it will send me a request to enable your account. So this is the activate button. So you log in over here, you create an account. All you need is email ID and a password, any password, whatever you want. And then you log in into it, you click this activate claim button inside. That's all. And then it will be activated. I can just send in confirmation. So at that moment of time, we had 22 widgets, but then we learned about trespassing, retest, ICMC breakouts, a lot of more things. So widgets have been added later on as well.
So Krishna, right? The question on the widgets. So if you want to take overnight positions, right, based on
Yeah. So that was one of the widget which is there, overnight position. And the other day I had taken a position on Syngene. So this is basically overnight position. This
is
is
this available on the index also, or
I can extend it on the indices as well. As of now, it is on stocks only, since I majorly work on equity cash. So I track these, but then same thing would be applicable for indices as well. So I can add that. That can be a good suggestion to add. Shouldn't
okay?
take much time as well. So that can be added, but it would be
If,
based on the spot prices, if that may help.
Yeah.
yeah, actually, all these option pricing charts are available on this, not on this platform. We can use IME Broker for that.
Yes, definitely. So I have ME Broker over here. So since I don't work specifically on FNOs, so I not using it. But then the uh, vendors, the real-time data vendors, they provide FNOs, currency, commodity, forex, indices. All those data is available. So right
And
now,
we can integrate to,
yes.
this TA tracker into that.
No, NimblrTA Tracker would be available only on TradingView. ME Broker is
Okay.
altogether different. This tool, what I'm telling you or showing you, this is based on ME Broker. So
Okay.
that has a comprehensive tool in itself. It is telling you this is a sell, this is a buy, then this is a sell, this is a buy. At which moment you should be buying a particular stock. This is a sell, ICMC breakout sell, ICMC sell, and trespassing has happened. So things like that.
You can give any references for this AMI broker?
Yes, it is same. I am using, for example, this is another view of ME broker over here. So over here, if you are looking for ME broker, you can just go over here. So there's a product which is comprehensive ME broker tool. So that can be used in the products.
Okay. Because I'm into options only. So
Okay, so in that case, the best option would be to uh, take ME broker, and then you can integrate it with a real-time data. And this is a NimblrTA tool for ME broker, which I just showed. So for today's
Okay.
discussion, for example, Tata Consume. So at this moment, it gave you a buy. It was an impulse buy. I had entered this particular trade. So that is the point I entered. And somewhere over here at this moment, around 783 or so, I had exited. So I got a good like scalp within couple of minutes itself.
right. Thank you.
So how do you identify it is a impulse before entering into the trade?
Yes, so multiple things as I show you. We were talking, I'll just come to your question since that will be covered in the next widget. We will come to impulse widget. Will that be okay?
Sure, sure.
Okay, fine. So this is basically the overnight position, right? So as per recent candlestick and wave course which Deshma had done. So we understood how to take the overnight positions, and based on that, it has been coded. So if you see Syngene over here, which I am taking an overnight position, why? There are few reasons for it, right? And if you see the ecosystem altogether, let's see how it actually behaves on daily, weekly, monthly. So if you see at this moment, first of all, this was a descending lows, then recent higher lows have been created. This is a daily chart, right? Now, if I enable NimblrTA tracker, it gave me an entry much earlier, right? So it is already in a entry position right now at this moment, right? Another important thing is that we learned that there should be no overlaps. So if you see the no overlaps exist over here, there's a no overlap. There's another no overlap over here. Similarly, even on lower time frame, it doesn't have overlaps. This for the higher time frame. Let me disable zigzag. It is too much of information. I don't want that at this moment. So now if you see over here, I am on 30 minutes chart. So I again see there's a no overlap over here, which has actually happened, right? And if I see on the positional side, I can see this information that the score has been increasing. It is 22. After 24, it will reach green health, right? And the candle count also is very less over here on a 5 minutes time frame. That is sell to buy candle count. It has been just very less for 30 minutes, for example. So it just took few candles to reach from sell momentum to buy momentum, and then it has started its upward journey. On higher time frame, if I try to check it, CCI values on daily is extremely bullish, and it has given a no overlap on a lower time frame. And more to that, it on a level of chart, if we just see the candlesticks chart over here, an IC has been formed over here, right? So these are good enough for me to understand and analyze that this stock seems a bullish. So I had entered this particular stock. Same thing, if you would like to track it further on 5 minutes, and so that again can be done, and you can enable open lines and see how it actually behaved when the opens actually happen, right? So this is the open line. So since open, it has been moving above only. It gave a retest over here, retest entry, and then it continued its journey upward, right? So that is one of the stock which I analyzed and I found it worthy enough. There could be stocks where you get analysis, but then there could be some other inhibitions. For example, there could be MI zone. You would like to cross above that MI zone. So you would just track it on the Telegram bot, and then next time when it opens above that level, you will be able to cross it, right? Okay.
So this NimblrTA tracker,
Yes.
when I apply to indices,
Hmm.
it was showing the last two buy and sell signals.
Yeah,
Actually,
of recent
uh,
recent ones are shown. If you want to increase it, you can increase it, but then too many labels probably might disturb you from
no,
actual
sir,
analysis.
to do the back testing, suppose if I want to see yesterday's data, how it worked.
Yeah, so if
So,
you want, yeah, let me answer that. So if you are looking for back testing, easiest way is to do the replay over here. How I'm doing it, you just
okay,
go over
because
here,
I
you
am
do the
in
replay.
TradingView premium account only, it's possible. Sir. Normal account, back, this replay is not possible.
Okay, then probably you can just add more buy and sells.
How
You
many maximum I can add?
maximum 20
20.
buy and 20 sells can be added to it. So you can see it will give you a lot of symbols here and there, and probably that I'm not sure if you will, it will be helpful. It gave a sell over here, it gave a sell, it gave a buy, it gave a buy over here. So for me it becomes a bit more clumsy and cluttery, so that's why I prefer just to have
In the higher time
dual.
frame also, it is giving so many signals.
Yeah, because you have enabled so many signals. If I enable only five signals, then only five will be plotted. So you can go on a higher time frame as well. It is the count. It can be on any time frame, right? It gave you a buy over here, it gave you a buy, it gave you a buy, it gave you a sell, it again gave you a buy, and so on. So it will keep on adjusting, and it will always show the latest buys which are there at that moment.
Is
Okay.
NimblrTA Tracker a free indicator or we have to buy?
No, it's a license indicator, so it would
That is
require
right.
a license. Yeah, it will require a license. Okay,
Same
so
for NimblrTA CCI.
yeah, these are the license indicators, whichever we are discussing right now: MI zone, ICMC breakout, ICMC screener,
I
CCI.
have taken ICMC from you,
Yeah,
but these are the two ones which.
yeah. So there are, yeah, other ones as well which have been recently coded based on impulse and other things. Okay. Now this part, this widget probably is clear. What we are doing over here
Yeah, I
overnight.
think it's
We
beautiful work.
okay.
Excellent.
Now coming, thank you so much. Okay, coming quickly to
Which
impulse.
which time frame you suggest for the swing trading?
It is on the higher time frame, so it is based on mostly hourly, daily, and weekly time frames.
Okay.
Okay, and now if you see impulse, because that was something we had been talking about, so there can be impulse differently. There can be impulse at the opening of the session. Like for example, let me take you quickly through Tata Consumer, as we talked about that. 772, that was my entry. Later on it did 792, but then I had exited at around 783 or 84 approximately. So if I just take you to this, this was identified through NimblrTA Tracker, sorry, the dashboard. If I click over here, you could see how the entry was done. So at this moment of time, if you see my screen, at this moment, this was approximately 9:28, right, when I had posted it. So I already, this was the first candle of the day. So I'm on 5 minute start. So at this candle itself, I got an entry, right? If you see the charts clearly over here, so this was an arrow in itself when the candle opened for the day. So it itself, it gave a lower low earlier, and previous highs have been crossed. Multiple previous highs have been crossed. So which makes me extremely bullish on it, right? And that is the reason I took one entry. I was trading on 1 minute chart at that point, and I could manage an entry around 772 or 773 at that moment. Later on, let's see what it actually did. So later on it went up, it went till around 784 or so in the initial part, and then I had put my ISL at 781, and then I just left it and then continued my some other work that time. So that is how I traded it. So it was a quick scalp which happened, and probably it took around 20 minutes or so. So within 20-30 minutes it gave me a good scalp, right, which is good for intraday, right? Okay, any questions until now?
ISL means trailing stop loss, is it?
Yes, trailing stop loss, yeah, to protect my capital, because then after that specific time, then probably I would like to protect my capital because I've got an initial gains. And if you see the chart at this moment over here, if I have just got a bulk over here from around 772 till around this level, then in that case I am on the upside over here. So I would like to prevent whatever capital I have done over here. So one part was exited, and later on I had exited the other part as well. So but that was also on same levels, so I could not get much out of this part, but then this quick scalp was done. Right. Okay, now we have been talking about impulses. Impulse, as you know, can happen on different time frames, right? It can be time frame on 5 minutes, it can be at the opening level, it can be on a daily basis, it can be on hourly basis impulses, it can be on a positional basis, on a weekly basis as well. So, and there could be impulses and different combinations of CCI as well, right? If you try to understand it that way. So now what would happen is, let me put the impulse widget on over here, which is most interesting, right? So we will see over here that impulsive momentum have been turned on over here, right? So which are the stocks which gave impulsive momentum? The name itself says impulsive momentum means a lower low has been formed, previous high has been crossed, and they are in momentum. Could be because of higher time frames. So for example, let's take any one of them. Maybe this one I can take, right? Randomly, whatever. So if you see super house over here, so let's try to see what the chart says, right? If you try to click over here, you see the chart directly. Then recent, there's a lower low which has been formed over here, right? And then there are no overlaps over here. These are part of your analysis which you would be doing it right before entry. At this moment of time, I see that there's a no overlap over here, it is supporting it. At this moment again, there's a no overlap, it is supporting it, and so on. And at this moment it has crossed this previous high as well, so it becomes an impulse for me. Moreover, if you see, the health of the stock is in green, it is score is increasing, and you are getting a star which is in hyper momentum. So doesn't this make it very simple to enter this stock? So I know that this stock on daily basis is doing good, so I will maybe track it on a lower time frame to see where I can get the best possible entry. In this case, this would be the best possible entry, because higher time frame we are going, and lower time frame CCI 8 is less than minus 135. Again, at this point I would like to see an entry, because it has not done an overlap further. It is already creating a higher, higher low. Yeah, this is creating a higher low over here. So I would like to take an entry over here as well. So I am taking the guidance of this widget, but I am taking the position on a lower time frame, because entries and exits are based on the lower time frame. This is impulsive widget, right? Similarly, let me show you another one. Impulse, intraday impulse. This is very interesting, uh, although it will be very swift. So you will see the information over here on this widget, and these will be the stocks which are juggling, right? When you are watching a score or match, so the scores of the teams, they keep juggling. They are at the bottom, they keep moving up, rank 2, rank 3, rank 1, and so on. So same thing, the juggle happens over every 5 minutes. So there could be Tata Consumer, which I had entered earlier. So it was probably at the peak at that moment. Later on, since the momentum was a bit less, it went down, and there were some other stocks where the momentum came. But overall, final day score is this. So IDBI, it gave an intraday impulse. This is at the closing basis, but when you are looking at live, it will actually give the values at that moment. Resolution is 5 minutes. Right. So if we check this particular stock, for example, IDBI, right? So if you see over here, and if you enable the values of 5 minutes over here itself, so you can see a descending structure over here. Can you notice it? A descending structure like this. So previous day it has been descending, and the recent day high has been crossed. So that is where you got a buy signal. This is just showing the recent buy and sell. So whole day it was below the open line. Suddenly it crossed the open line. It took support of the open line, and there was a gap it left, and then it moved up. It gave you a buy over here. You got a buy entry somewhere around 33 level, and then it moved to 35. I'm on a 5 minute start. Same thing, if you try to see it, it will be a different view on a higher time frame. So you got to buy entry at this level, right? But if you are using this entry is basically your entry on the impulse level. But if you are using ICMC breakout, you may get an entry later, right? You will get an entry over here. This is the ICM, sorry, this is not the ICMC. This is another star candle. You will get an entry later at this level. You will get an entry, right? You will get an entry around 34 levels. But if you are not considering ICs only as a criteria for your entry, then you can get entries earlier as well. So it went up, it gave a retest. If this level ICMC was there, it gave a retest over here. You got 5 minutes for, or 30 minutes for it. You got a retest entry and then it moved further. And if I imply MI zones over here, I can see this is all shunted zone. Next J, that is on Monday. If I want to check it, I will track this level. If this level is breached on the downside, then probably this earlier levels can be reached. This open line can be reached. Then I can have some resistance over here as well. So that way I can take a position as well. Make sense?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So that is how intraday impulse are there. Now there are some other criterias also for impulse, because you can have a daily impulse, you can have a impulse on a positional basis. So let's see positional impulse, right? So for example, Bajaj Electric, right? If you see Bajaj Electric, I had seen a no overlap few days back on the real-time dashboard. So this was on 12th, right? At that moment, the price was 1083, right? Today, the price is 1172 and it was selected based on no overlap. Let's go to the reference so that we can just go through it and understand it better. Okay, so there are some no overlaps which were openly shared. So if you see at that moment, it was IZ, indecision zone, a lower low has been formed. If you see these compared these two candles on daily basis, a lower low has been formed. Also, this level is 3662, right? Higher low. And over here, if you see the previous higher high, it is creating a no overlap. And the next candle has gone upward. So which makes it interesting because this is the indecision zone, the pink one, pink color over here, pinkish here. So that is a zone. Similarly, if you see other stocks, insecticide. So it was 909 at that day, on that day, right? Again, if you see higher high and the low, higher low, so there's a gap 30 and 9. So 9 rupees of gap over here, 9 points of gap, and it took support and it moved up and it again kept moving upward only. So where would I like to take an entry? I would probably take an entry above 919. So what would I do it in this case? I would easily go to my uh, Telegram bot. I will just write quick add insecticide greater than 919 and then just probably leave it. Since now the level has already reached, it will not accept this particular trigger. Right now the level is 932, but at that moment if I had done it, then I would get the information how it is actually triggering. Right. So whenever this happens, it will let me know. This is on the positional side. How Bajaj Electric was doing that now if we check, it is 1176. That time it was 1080 or something like that at that moment on 12th. Today on or yesterday on 15th, it moved up. So that is how you select and identify stocks. This is positional impulse, that is on a higher time frame. Now you have daily impulse, that you are on a daily on an intraday chart, but impulse did not happen immediately at the open of the stock, but during the day it happened. So let's see Kai over here, right? If we see how it actually reacted. So if you try to remove the drawings and all these, just to have more clarity over here, if you try to see this, so there's a descending low which has been formed and then the level has been crossed on the upside, right? There's a descending low and the level has been crossed on the upside and there's a no overlap over here. Can you see? So the tool inherently, it will track all these things and give you alerts, or it will update on the widgets. It will not specifically tell you that okay, no overlap is there. That's a different widget in itself. But then inherently, if you see this stock, you would be completely bullish because it went down, it created a no overlap, lower low was formed, this level was crossed, again it retested it, and if you see it, the health is in green.
So you don't have a no overlap widget there.
That is there. That is what I'm saying. This is basically the daily impulse we were checking. If you see
Mhm.
overlap or no overlap over here, you will have a widget over here as well. No overlap widget.
Okay.
That is another widget in itself. So if you see TVS Motor or all these, because indices of auto sector, they were on the bullish side. So then you have no overlap on Inox Leisure. This is something a new stock, right? So I would like to track it. Let's see how it actually goes. Right? If you see it on a higher time frame, daily, weekly, monthly basis, right? So now you will see over here to here, there's a no overlap. There's a support which it has taken, right? And if you want to track the levels and all, then you can just enable these close levels over here and you can try to see the values as well. So it will guide you on those values. So it is good for micro tuning as well and on a macro basis as well. Depends on how you want to use it. So if I would like to take an entry over here, so what I would be doing, I would just go to my system over here. I will write quick add in Inox Leisure less than 523. That's all. I'm done with it. And later on, if I just do a list over here, I will see Inox Leisure has been added. And next time, whenever it reaches this level, I will be notified. It is open. This alert is open on trigger me bot. So for tracking, I would be using trigger me bot. For identifying which stock to go, I will be using the real-time dashboard. And for actually analyzing the chart and making a decision, maybe Tradingview in this case, since I'm showing you that. However, any broker is also there. So these are some options which I have. So I will use either one of them. Right.
Do you have a widget for CCI score on different time frames?
No, that is available in NimblrTA CCI indicator itself, and there's a query builder tool in itself, which is doing your score analysis based on CCI. So let me just quickly go to it. I won't take much time since we already have some videos covering it already. So maybe if it interests you, you could check. So if you see over here, there are some stocks and you have the scores for them. Right. TVS Motor, Vadilal, increase means that score is increasing. This arrow means it has recently reached quadrant one. It has reached quadrant one recently. Previous day it was not there. So Vadilal is there, JKIL is there. So this will happen end of the day. It will give you target, stop loss information, and you can create filters out of it, whatever you want. If you are tracking only some specific stocks, you can create those filters as well. So let me just quickly show it to you. Won't take much time. So for example, you are looking for insecticide for now. So over here, if I see score is 53, CMP is this, target is this, stop loss is this, it is not an exit. Similarly, if I have the dashboard over here, I want to check realty stocks over here. So it will give me a widget on realty, which how they are placed. Out of all the realty stocks, the topper has been Marathon, and the second one known one is DLF and Oberoi Realty. These have been doing good as compared to others. Similarly, auto sector, if I want to check how they have been placed, TVS Motor has been doing wonderfully well as compared to others. But then these are also in bullish momentum.
So these are done end of the day, right?
Yeah, this is done end of the day, but you want it
And you have to
live. Yeah,
then you will have to initiate when it goes green. Is it something like that?
yeah, that is one way of doing it. I usually do it within the score of 14 to 24 because once it is green, then it is already in momentum, right? So
Yeah.
I would like to enter based on understanding of the concept much earlier, as I showed.
Okay.
Right, and I would not be entering on a position on a EOD basis. I would be entering on a real time basis. That is why this dashboard is there. It is telling you in real time when it is happening, right? So that is how it can be tracked. And similarly, if you track the levels over here, TVS motor, so you will get similar information on the stock over here is itself. So 51 star score has been increasing. How the score has been increasing, you can actually enable the scoreboard like this. So it has been green, so it was orange. At this moment it became green, and then since then it has been green, it went orange, and then again recently it became green. That is why you get a star over here, because recently it changed the momentum again from orange to green,
Electronics.
right?
Beautiful work.
And similarly it will tell you where your red is there or blue is there. So it was blue in health at this moment, then it uh, then it improved, it became orange, then it got some momentum, it was toggling between them, then it got stabilized as green, and then the run started, right? So that is one way of looking at things, right? So mostly I think we have covered most of the widgets. Other widgets are also similar on basis. So for intraday positional, this is also very interesting. End of the day, I would like to check which are the stocks which have sustained the momentum at 3:15 or 3 o'clock. That is the time I make sure I am available on this dashboard to see where I can take an overnight position, because it will take maybe few minutes for me to check different widgets, check the charts on different time frame, make my mind, maybe 5-10 minutes, something like that. So I would start at 3 o'clock, right? And that moment I will check, okay, these are the stocks. Then I will see what is the sector doing, how it is aligned, maybe some levels have to be crossed, I will put those alerts, and so on. And now if I come to this particular chart of Tata Motors, this is a positional entry it had given at that moment. Why? Because if you see, let me enable this. So if you see, CCI 3430 is 195, it has sustained over there, score has been increasing, count has been just 52. That means just 52 candles it took of 5 minutes to change the sentiment. So that is extremely bullish, right? So these are the things I will see. If you see it over here, so it took just few candles over here and it went surging upward. And if you want to actually track it, then you can track it on daily, weekly, monthly basis, where to get entry or how to get entry. That easily can be done with tracker. If you want to exit it, then you can take a position, and then it will tell you, okay, you enter here, you exit here, some small scalping position, 1 minute, 5 minutes, those again can be done. So if we see BTC USG just as an example over here, how it would be doing. So interesting thing is that it will tell you where to buy, where to sell as well. So I can just create one alert over here. I will go over here, I will see NimblrTA Tracker over here, I will tell, give me the buy alert when it is there, and once when it happens it will tell me where the buy alert is there on 1 minute time frame, right? So right now it is a sell alert. Whenever the buy alert will happen, this tracker will just pop up the information for me. Same thing, if I want to check it on a different time frame, I can easily check, or if I want to track the levels, then I can track it as well. This
Do
is
you
the
have a video on this scoring pattern? You said 12 to 14 you want to enter.
Yes. So it is there on Query Builder page itself. So if you go to the main site, NimblrTA main site, in the products you will see Query Builder, and on the same home page itself there's a video which describes everything on Query Builder. So there's a presentation also, there's a video also, right? Only thing is, this is end of the day, but it will give you a full view, what are the targets, what are the stop loss, when it is an exit, it will even tell you the exits. Maybe I forgot to mention it, or maybe I did it, let me just do it. So on if you are entering a particular stock, you would like to track where the exits are there, right? So you could just track it, exit greater than one. So exit, or I'll just create a widget out of it. So you go to create filter, and you just create a filter out of it, and then it will give it. It's on the dashboard, but then I would have to search for the exact keyword. So exit and equal to 1. So these are the stocks. If I apply it, so these are the stocks which have given me an exit. it can be exit from the buy position or it can be an exit from the sell position. Exit is exit, right? So if I know by looking at the scores that okay, Godrej Industries, it has given me an exit. So if I had a position on Godrej Industries and I was on a weekly chart, I would see that it has given me an exit at that very moment over here because the momentum has been lacking, right?
Hmm.
Right, this is given me a buy because it is ICMC breakout and there is a shunted further. But then on a weekly basis, which is a true basis, I would like to exit this stock. I will not like to enter this stock at this moment, right? Same thing. So that is how the dashboard will work handy. And then there are widgets based on synchronous momentum, impulse, assessment of candles. The gaps are there. These are very important when we are tracking. Open analysis, gap, overnight analysis. Some analysis are done at the end of the session, some are done at the beginning of the session. So, and then there are the others which will work best during the session. You are looking for ICMC breakout at 12 o'clock, you log in into the system 12:15, and you want to see on a 15 minutes breakout where is the ICMC breakout happening. You will enter that particular stock accordingly.
Krishna, you are deep into already building the system, so you know the concepts very well. What do a newcomer do? There are 45 widgets. He'll be completely lost, right? The purpose is to make money.
Not really, because yeah, purpose to make money, that is of course, but person would not be lost because the widgets are suchly like they have been made from a user's perspective, right? they,
Yeah, but
if you
I
are
mean,
looking for impulse, if you are see if you are
my,
looking for
my,
positional, yeah.
my basically question was
Hmm.
based on the experience. Now you're already into it, right?
Mhm.
Would you say okay, impulse should be used on 15 minute? That's more advantageous, or it should be 5 minute, or it should be 1 hour? Is there a recommendation for each kind of a visit that
it
this is
will
the time frame that we should be looking for each of it?
it will see that description is there on the site itself, you can go through it. But overall, in a nutshell, if we see, if you are looking for intraday, so you have the intraday assessment over here, you have intraday impulse. So these are the stocks which will help you find at the entry at the open. Now if you are looking at 3 o'clock, at that moment you would be looking at like when you're starting the session, you would be looking at the open analysis. You would be looking where the gaps are there, right? Where the gaps are there. We talked about Hindustan Unilever. It went up, it came down trespassing, it took support from the previous day open, and then it started moving upward. So you would already have it available over here. Only thing is level and trigger entries. That is what, because now you know the stock which is to be done. All you have to focus is entry. To enter it, it will be very simple. See over here we got a buy alert in the meanwhile. So Bitcoin, let's see. So entries will be extremely simple in that manner, right? This is the buy alert what you already got on 1 minute basis. It is giving you the buy alert. So this was the buy alert which we got. So you got a sell entry. So same thing would happen. You take an entry, it is according to this, and it gives you a buy. You would like to close that position or reverse that position because it is not in your direction, right? You could obviously you should be using ISLs over here. Over here you should be using ISL, but in case since you might have missed it for some reason, then it will also change and tell you that okay, you should be closing it. There will be
So
a
there are no ISL levels shown on this tracker.
no, there's no ISL's level because it is just giving you the overall picture when to buy, when to exit, quick entry, swift exits. If you are looking for ISL levels and all, so ICMC breakout will give you that definition where the ISLs are there.
Best thing is ki that after buy sell signal you have another filters.
Mhm.
You can screen that based on various other parameters.
Yes. So now, for example, at this moment, you would like to see where the ICMC breakout is happening or tiny IC. You can enable that. Zigzags are there. So multiple things have been coded in, and those are analyzed before giving. This is just simple buy and simple sell. But when you are coding this, there is lot, whatever we have worked on the widget, not everything but major part of it is covered in it, right? Because then TradingView also has restriction. If I put too much code in it, then it becomes very sluggish, and then it's not of much use, because if it is slow on real time basis, so we have to maintain that it is performing well and it is giving good results as well, right? So this is on 5 minutes basis. It gave you a buy and sell. If you see the levels over here, it gave a sell over here, it gave you a buy over here, and you sold over here, and then the position reversed at here. So you would like to close this. You got another sell over here, three sells and one buy. So one position you close, second buy, another position you close, and so on, right? So with this, the idea is anybody should be able to see, if even if you are a new user, you would look for some stocks. Either you work only on one stock or one index, that is a separate thing. So that you work on Nifty, so you don't need any screener, anything else. All you need is one chart. That is all. That is the simplest. Unfortunately for me, that is never the case. So I'm everywhere, wherever I find momentum, I'm jumping, hopping like a frog on those stocks, and then jumping out of them as well. So that is the reason I need to understand the intraday basis. So on intraday basis and opening basis, these are some stocks which I would like to look for. Just an example, right? And then I will track them, because Tata Motors, I have at that moment, it would probably be at 417 when I got the first alert on intraday positional. But then after that, again, it is continues to be over there, and by the end of the day, it is 440. Right. Similarly, if you are looking as a newcomer, if you are looking, probably you should go for ICMC breakout. Why don't you go for ICMC breakout on daily basis, or maybe positional swing, or maybe retest? That can be very good. You should go for 30 minutes ICMC breakout, 30 minutes breakout on indices, or hourly breakout. You could see little bit on the higher time frame, impulsive momentum. So these are some widgets you would like to see. Don't see other widgets. Like 45 widgets are there. If you want to use them, it's okay. But if as a newcomer, you are interested only in the retest entries. You have learned about beach trades and retest entries. So you just take daily, weekly retest entry. We talked about the entry in some of the stocks. For example, over here, if you see, you can use it as a ready reference. So in this case, the entry was taken in Sterling tools. This was based on retest. It was already in momentum, but retest entries were taken. Now again, it has come to the same level. So if you're not quick to enter and exit, if you were quick to enter and you are lost in exit, then again it's of no point, right? So over here, if you see again how and when it will give an exit, so you will wait for it. The indicator will analyze it, it will track it, and whenever the sell is there, it will give you a sell at that moment. Right. So on this, if you check daily, so it gave you a buy at this level and it gave you a sell at this level. So at least even if you are closing on closing basis, if you check 292 is achieved. Even if you don't check it or fine tune it on hourly or lower time frame, then again at least some profit from 270 to 293 you are able to sustain, right? So that is the reason you need some guidance. Obviously, you must know the concept, but then tools can always help you with some quick things to check for. Right.
So now it is showing a retest right here. It is showing a sell signal.
Sell signal, because the intent is quick entries, swift exit. That is the motto of this indicator.
So retest is something which you are saying because we had a buy there.
Yeah, so now here it has given an overlap, right? It has given an overlap over here. So until unless it goes above this point, might not be good enough. Let's see where it goes. Again, at this level, it's a no overlap. But for me, when I'm putting money in it, I put the money at 269 and it did 322. Will I not book some amount of it? Probably I will do, definitely, right? And then when I see on at this moment on a daily time chart at this moment over here,
No,
and
but when your system will give a signal, what it will say? Retest buy or retest level.
it will give just buy or sell, as simple as that. Why will
Yeah.
it will not confuse you. It is a reversal entry, pullback entry, OST
It
entry,
will just
impulse.
say
It
this is
will
a
say it is
retest
a buy,
level,
it
right?
is sell, right? Yes.
It
So
will say a retest level achieved, right? What will the widget tell us?
okay, widget, if you see, yeah, it will send the retest. So if you see, you're talking about the widget, yeah. So if you see over here, the widget, ICMC breakout, ICMC retest, if you see, these are the widgets where the retest is happening on a weekly basis. They are valid for 1 week. So it
Hmm.
might happen on Wednesday when it first appeared. It is
Yeah.
still the end of the week, so you will still continue to see it. After that, it moved up. Sterling tools, same thing happened. It entered, we entered on the stock, and later on it moved up. But widget, when it appeared, I tracked it and I could enter it. So that was the purpose of doing it, right? So if you see over here, this is the point I got the level. This is after when I have posted, but during
Hmm.
the real time market, I got an entry on this particular level earlier than this, when it was somewhere over here before the close. I I got the entry over here. Later on, what happened? Then it started to move up to 293 and 322 as well, right? I got the entry over here. That is where I got the entry. I saw CCI and everything. I got the entry like that. Right. So insecticides, something similar. We talked about no overlaps, and insecticide was over there. So we got an entry over here. If you try to fine tune it on a daily basis, where we got the entry or where we actually got the sell part. So it is somewhere over here on this day. If you try to track it, what happened on this day, if you go deep into the indicator and just try to track it, what actually happened on this day. So this is how it was actually moving. And till then we had momentum, the green was there, right? You probably on a 30-minute time frame, you would like to exit over here because this is shunted. You would like to save your profit or minimize your loss, whatever may be the case. Then at this moment, you would see that there's a buy and then there's a sell over here at 303 on the same day. This is the same day over here when this candle is being made. At same day, you have a sell at 303. So you would like to sell it at 300, right? Because it is giving trespassing. You would like to protect your profit. You have already gained till from 270. And then if you miss this, then in that case, it will go further down. Right. So that you would have to track it on different time frames and as per the concept.
If you scroll on this NimblrTA CCI, can we see the green box changing to blue? If we
Yeah, yeah,
scroll on
yeah,
the chart,
yeah. You can check it. So this is the health of the stock, right? So it is green,
you have to
then it
change that. Okay, okay.
turned turned into orange, right? So it turned into
Hmm.
orange health. And live also it will happen. So if you are tracking it live also it will give you. So the idea of this session, today's session, was that you should be able to understand that there are different tools which can be of guidance based on what you are looking for. If you're looking for some entries for stocks, then there are widgets which are available and it can give you on ICMC, tiny ICs. I told you about, you were talking about individuals who are new. So you should use tiny IC on 30 minutes, as simple as that. You know the levels. Tiny IC are easiest to trade. So you use Ambuja Cement or maybe Tata LXC. You see the score of it, and then accordingly you can see where you want like to place an entry or where you would like to track and exit. Right? So if you see over here, it will give you the information where the tiny ICs are. So if you see over here, this is the tiny IC. So it goes down, it goes below this level. This is all shunted. Where it can go further? It will go further down until the ICMC breakout, which is happening somewhere over here, right?
Hmm.
So it will cross this level of 8050 and it can go until 7995 approximately, plus minus an aura constant. So isn't that
Hmm.
good enough to start with? It is so simple. And if you do it on 30 minutes, you can do it. You can do the same thing on a different widget on weekly basis as well, which will be more potent and more powerful, right? So yeah, that was something. So this itself becomes an ecosystem. The idea is to identify stocks where to go. The idea is to track the levels with a telegram bot, that at least I am doing it, and then you can always check the charts, so you know this is a particular stock where you would like to take an entry. How would you do it? It is extremely simple. You will come on this particular chart, you will do your analysis, maybe daily, weekly, monthly, or whatever levels you want. So let's take another example. Yeah.
Previously, you said you are tracking which indices is strong on the visit, right? And then
Yes,
we
yes,
can
yes.
see
Yeah,
among the
align.
among
Exactly.
that.
That is important because if I know that out of all these widgets, which sector I want to see, my point is to narrow down an entry,
Exactly.
right?
Now within the sector, how to see
With
which stocks are
yeah,
performing?
so Nifty Auto over here, you don't have to go for this specific stocks. They will be available in this dashboard itself. If you
Hmm.
enable it, intraday positional, if you do positional, if you do gap ups, if you do ICMC breakout, you do tiny IC, you could swing and all these, so they will automatically show those stocks. MRF will be there, you will have Tata Motors there, you will have TVS Motor there, you will have Maruti there. So it will be all across this dashboard because that is the uh, buzzing what do you say,
No,
the
no, I
buzzing sector.
understand the way you have structured. I'm just saying if I have to focus on auto,
Haha.
and then I just only focus on auto stocks altogether instead of having all this, can it be possible?
No, not as per this widget system because it works as a whole. That for that probably you would have to have a watch list, and then based on that you can easily track. Now you know Nifty Auto is there. A quick entry over here is that I will have Nifty 50, Nifty 200, Nifty Auto over here, and I will see what all are the stocks over here, and then accordingly I just click on it directly, and then I will try to see who is moving where.
But that doesn't give me my reference to scoring or which is
No, no, it will give you the
impulse or
scoring mechanism
it
is
will
there.
compare. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, scoring mechanism will give, it will give. I already know my mechanism that, okay, it is already in green of health already. And I
Yeah.
would like to enter at this moment. Where would I like to enter? If this was a starting of the day, probably I would enter above 8700. So what I would do, I will just go over here. I will do quick add Maruti greater than 8700, and I will just place this, right? And I will just go for coffee or whatever I'm doing, and in this case it has already reached this level, so now I am tracking another level. Maybe I want Maruti 7800 approximately, or sorry, 8800. Yeah, so I will just put this over there. I can attach the chart also over there, and then this would be available to me next time I have my list. And I just do list and I do Maruti, it will be, it says it's ready because it is in vicinity of that tolerance level. So I'm already ready getting this trigger, right? It has not been reached as of now.
So
So
what's the price for this software?
that is all available on the site. It's like
Memory.
one, yeah, you can just go through it. It's extremely nominal, less than around uh, cheesecake, small one. So for a month. So because it's something new and then I am using it. So that has been the main criteria. So I thought maybe it would be good to extend it further to different individuals
So
as
you are
well.
recommending to have NimblrTA, Nimbler CCI plus.
See, my recommendation would be to understand the concept first, and then based on what your core competencies are. There would be some individuals who are looking only for intraday, right? For them, maybe this ICMC breakout screener is good enough, which is telling you where the ICMC breakout is happening. So you use ICMC breakout, Eicher mode over here. So Eicher mode over here, I'll just click it. I will see ICMC breakout is actually happening over here live. I can see it. So this, for some individuals who are tracking only some levels, ICMC breakout is good enough. Some may want some advanced thing because you want to entry better and they are looking for positional entries, maybe no overlaps. So things like that. So it would again drill down to the individual. My purpose is to tell you that there exists an ecosystem where you can screen the stocks in real time, take an entry, track the levels as well. So that is the whole purpose. If you are looking for CCI levels and scores and how the health of the stock has been, if you see it over here, so it was in blue and health, it was in orange of health, and then it started turning green. So that is where you would like to take an entry. So you can just do your line diagrams and check how you would like to enter it. Right. So there are different ways you can easily work. Uh, for individuals, it may differ, right? So how I use it personally, at the open of the day, I obviously know where the levels are, because based on previous analysis and levels, I already have figured something on the trigger me bot. So in the morning itself, I would get some information what levels have been crossed. The other day I got Reliance, I shorted Reliance later on, but I was expecting that it might be going up, so it went up marginally, but then it did not cross the level which I was expecting as a target on the upside. So that made me think that probably it is, see, this is at 9-1. Oh, okay, what did I do? Fine. This is at 9-1. I got an alert that it is about to become greater than 2400. This is yesterday, right? And it reached the level greater than 2400 at 916. So at pre-open itself, I know these triggers are coming to me. I'm tracking a level. So at pre-open itself, I know this level has been crossed, and at the open itself, this level has been crossed on the upside. However, I was expecting maybe it will go to 2414, and that was a big wick, and then it came down, and later on I retested it and shorted it. But then this information is available to me at the open itself at 9 o'clock, at 9:07. I know what all I have to do. Plus, I have a few more minutes until 9:15, right? So I know the levels. Then I would obviously like to know which indices are aligned, right, for that day. So it may happen FMCG moves up, this comes down, that juggling will happen during the day. Maybe media goes up, it comes down, that juggling will happen. But then if I know that Nifty Auto is very strong, where will I enter it? I might not enter a new position immediately. I will enter on a retest or an overlap or a no overlap support. So that is where the levels will be taken from. So I will look at the chart. I will look at different chart, maybe over here. So I might like to enter over here at this case. So I will just put a trigger 2887 point something or 2890. I will put a trigger, and system will let me know when it is 2895. So I will get to know in advance. Right. So this week I can easily track this week. It has gone below this level. I will be able to track. I will get an alert on my trigger me bot, and I can feed it to my broker, because somehow I don't have that GTD facility on it. So this can happen today also. This can happen 3 days later as well. So that is, my watch list is always ready on this. If you check, I had either shown it over here. So my watch list is already ready. I had taken some earlier positions, and this position I am expecting, but it never reached the level what I am expecting. So it is still open. So whenever it will reach, maybe 3 days, 10 days, I don't know. I will get that information. So 320 and this 337, this is the level probably what I'm looking for based on my analysis. So this will be a better point to check. And that point I will check. If I think it is good to enter, looking at the lower time frame, I will enter it.
Mr. Khanna, I have just gone through your pricing plan on the website. There is separate cost for indicator and separate cost for dashboards and
Yeah, all are different products, as I mentioned. So all are independent products. You can only opt for a dashboard if you want. You are using already
no.
existing.
What is the
Mhm.
cost for the whole suit, including training? Basically, because without training, it will
This is a
be
training in itself. See, training as such, I can support you on the tools if you have some queries
yeah,
how to
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That
That
obviously
way.
is there. But then if somebody comes and tells me, okay, how do I enter an ICMC breakout, then definitely my answer would be that probably we should go through the course material and understand it, how to enter it. Because entries, exit, all those are highly volatile, and then you need to understand where it can be entered. But as far as tools are required, then definitely if you require, okay, the next day you tell me, okay, I want the or open price also being marked, so then probably that can be coded and then that can be available, things like that, and maybe more improvements can be done later on as
Yes.
well. So
So
suit wise, if you say, so there are depending, like if you're looking for ICMC breakout, you will have a license for it. If you're looking for NimblrTA Tracker yearly, you will have a license for it. If you're looking for 1 month of real-time dashboard, you will have a license for it as well. So based on what you are looking for, that can be worked upon easily.
But you also need to buy TeamViewer, right? With that,
Which one? Which one?
if you have to use your NimblrTA tracker and all that, you need a TeamViewer,
trading view.
not the team. What
Trading
is
view?
this?
No, no, not
Tradingview membership, right?
not required. Three indicators are complementary, right? So you have tracker available, you have CCI available, you may want ICMC breakout. So any three can do on a free account.
What you suggest? What should be the ideal this thing? If we don't see, since you are a coder yourself, so you have a whole variety of the product. But what you suggest? What should be sufficient to buy for the for intraday trader and the maximum 1 week positional.
Okay, so I would, if I was in your case, like again, as I mentioned, your answers might differ and your opinion also might differ. But if I were on your case, I would first look for capital protection. That is the first point. If I am investing X amount of rupees, I expect that X amount plus something should be there. But at the end, X should be available to me, right? So that is the first point which I would have. If I can't protect my capital, why would I even invest in the market? I will go away and run away
Sure.
from the market. That is the first point which will come to my mind. So for that, I would need a robust system which will tell me an entry, which will tell me an exit, right? Now, to have an entry or exit, there can be different ways. I would look for a overall way where overall system is getting tracked. It may not or should not be there only on one particular small tiny IC or ICMC concept. It should be taking overlaps, waves, trespassing. I should be able to see the whole view because I have done a course where I have understood so many things. I have understood shunting. I have understood so many things. If I am not using them, then I'm not taking advantage of it, right? So I would recommend in that case, I would like to go for NimblrTA Tracker only because it will give me a overall structure, when to buy, when to sell. If I am on a 5 minutes, even on 1 minute level, it will tell me where to buy, where to sell. So that is what I am looking for, right? See, if
So
I
Nimbler TA tracker is includes CCI also.
if you opt for an annual plan, then CCI will come complimentary for annual usage.
Okay.
So these two will become
And it comes
complementary.
with widgets also, that
No, widgets are separate. You can
screeners.
no, that is this is separate. Then
Acha,
this is
this is
separate. Yeah. So
okay.
trading view indicators, then they can be a combination, and you can opt for them. CCI would be helpful. That is the reason it has been kept complementary along with it, because then this helps you actually trade on a daily, weekly, monthly basis as well. You know where to enter, where to exit, and so on, right?
So,
See, one is tinny IC indicator, one is tinny sorry, ICMC breakout indicator, and one is ICMC breakout screener. See,
Mhm.
does
Tiny
that the
IC,
higher one
no, no.
includes the previous ones also?
Yeah, the tiny IC is only the tiny IC, nothing more than it. ICMC has the tiny IC as well, and the screener is this screener which is specific to screening ICMC. So on daily basis, I am getting an ICMC breakout on Larson and Turbo. So I just use LT over here because I see this momentum is there, and I can apply ICMC breakout over here, and I can check it. So this tells me in real time how it is happening. But this is only for ICMC breakout. But you are looking for overlaps and other things, so then there are different ways to check it.
So Krishna, right? This is Srinivasan.
Yeah, yeah.
This NimblrTA tracker, this buy and sell signal, it is based on what indicators does it give?
Yeah, it will give you multiple things. So let me just take you through the part over here. I think we discussed this one. Okay. So
I'm sorry if I'm
yeah,
making you repeat some other things. I
no,
just
no,
wanted.
not a problem. I think yeah. So it is basically the overlaps. It would be basically the CCI part, the score part, the overlaps part, the PSAR, EMA, uh, the overlaps, ICMC, tiny IC. So based on all these components, which we have individual components of NimblrTA, it will assess it as a buy or sell. So all the group is there, and it will tell the fastest entry. This time the entry happened because of CCI. Next time the exit may happen because of trespassing.
Hmm.
Other time the entry may happen because of maybe an overlap, right?
Okay, okay,
So that is what it will give you. It's like the fastest finger first. You have 5 fingers. Whichever will give the fastest entry, it will give you an entry. Whichever will give you the fastest exit, it will tell you the exit. So fingers are only 5. So like that, the components are only limited. You have PSAR, you have ICMC, you have tiny IC, overlap. Those are limited. But then entry and exit will be based on those fastest ones,
okay.
right?
Can you just show it for one of the stocks? You just put Divi slab and
Okay, device lab.
Krishna sir,
Yes, please. Yes, please.
actually in Tiny IC, there are two type of percentage. No, one is 15 percentage for below day time frame, and the other is 4.5 percentage for weekly and monthly. So you have coded two types of Tiny IC, or in one only one type.
No, no,
How
it
can we will
is.
change?
No, no, you don't have to change anything. Everything is already pre-coded in the dashboard. So if you see the dashboard over here, you have tiny IC. So you have 30 minutes tiny IC. The conditions are separate, weekly, monthly. So those are already pre-coded. You don't have to code
Yeah, what
anything.
about in Tradingview? Suppose I will take only Tiny IC
Yeah, so
that
that is
indicator.
already code. Yeah, again, tiny IC will be assessed based on the same concept. Concept is same. This is just giving you a screen around 30 minutes. Now if you check 30 minutes over here and you apply tiny IC indicator, or in this case maybe I'll apply ICMC breakout, because it also has the tiny IC. So I will see on 30 minutes. I'm on a different time frame over here. I will see that this tiny IC is available over here, right? It will detect it based on the same conditions, right? So conditions have not changed. If they change, the concept itself is changed, right? So those conditions have to be static. Coming,
Okay,
okay,
thank you.
okay. So now coming to Divis Lab over here. So as per this, we were talking about Divis Lab. Maybe daily chart you want, or okay, maybe we can go through this chart, because it can be interesting to see how the indicator would react. So I would be somewhere over here. Maybe we can start somewhere from here. Maybe it won't take much time also, although we have short the time, but then it's okay. As long as we get more clarity, that is the main intent and the purpose. So what all we want tiny IC to be visible, ICMC. Is there something you look forward specifically, or like
yeah,
just
open and close levels. Yeah, open and close.
okay, so this is there, right? So if now let's try to analyze it, how it would go. And alternatively, I would also request you to see the CCI part, how it is changing, right? This health of the system, health of the stock, right? So you just do a play button over here at this moment. So you got one buy over here, right? And this is on 30 minutes. You're getting a buy based on ICMC based on 37,3721, right? It's moving up. If you see this, we have not enabled this particular previous level crossing. Otherwise, if you have enabled it, you will have a star here as well. Sorry, the triangle here that it has crossed this level, right? That is the main indication for it. So you got one entry over here. And at this moment, if you see, you got a sell. So you have to book your profit over here. If you are on 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes you have to book. Otherwise, when I see the sell over here, I will go to 5 minutes time frame. I will fine tune it as soon as I get entry into this candle, because this is trespassing the pink arrow downside into this candle. This is a strength candle, candle inside a candle, OTB, sorry, ITB, right? And if you see the health of the stock, it has turned blue. It's not orange. It is degrading. Then at this moment, I get another buy entry. Why? Because it is candle shunting. It has candle inside this candle. So that is a minor buy. But the health of the stock is still blue. CCI is not in momentum on lower time frame, even on the higher time frame. So then probably it might not go up much further, even if it has to go maybe 3778, this level. But at this moment, if I apply indecision zones over here, this is the level. It is not able to cross successfully. It gives me a buy. It is, again, it has broken that resistance over here. And this is how my position has been. So this is the recent buy, recent sell. So you entered over here, exit here, sell here, then you came down, a minor buy over here, a lower high, then again you came down, another lower high, you came down, another lower high, somewhere over here. Still blue in health.
But if you are looking at it from a positional perspective, right? I know this is mainly from a 30 minutes chart.
Uh-huh.
If you are looking at it from a positional perspective,
Yeah, so if you are looking on a positional perspective, then you already have an entry over here, right? And if you see on the left side, it's a beautiful shunting which is happening. Can you see this?
correct. Yeah, I
Candle
saw that.
shunting. So above this level, I would like to take a new entry. If I want to enter it newly, maybe I would like to enter 3826. So what I would do is, maybe it might not happen tomorrow, maybe it might happen 3 days later. So I'll just go over here. I will add Divis Lab, maybe 3826, something like that. I will put a level over here and I will leave the system.
Okay.
Right. So that is where. So above this, I would like to take an entry. Same thing happened on another stock. The other day, I had analyzed. I got on the dashboard. There was a stock. Which one is it? Nesco. Yeah, Nesco was it. And analyzed it. Based on that, I had taken an entry. So 881 was one of the price where I wanted to enter it further. So it was on 14th, and at that moment, if I see, it was around this level, and it was an impulse trade based on the dashboard, and I wanted to enter it above 581. This was the level 581. I had traded it since I got the alert timely. I traded it, and this was 605 I was expecting. So later on the next day, the other previous day, it was able to make a good high of 599, right? And then it reached above. So that is how you can easily track it. So you must be aware what the levels are, and you should know when the levels will arrive on which stock. So that is why you need an ecosystem where you know which stocks, where, when. Until unless you have the answers to them, you might not be able to do things comfortably, right? Which stock you are just haphazardly going to different stocks, when to enter. Sometimes you buy and it goes into sell position. You don't know when to sell. You are going in the opposite direction. So you need something to tell you that okay, it's a buy, it's a sell. It can be based on CCI, it can be based on any other thing, but uh, general, that would be the way if you're using indicators.
Krishna, on the same graph, can you scroll on this NimblrTA CCI and can we see these all four levels? Instead of going to single graph, now we have this box, right? No, not this one.
Uh-huh. Where?
I just want to see where I know this graph is indicating blue color
Uh-huh,
where the
uh-huh.
level has changed.
Okay, okay.
However, I want to see the same box when I'm scrolling on the NimblrTA CCI.
Okay. So, okay, I understand. So let's see how it actually goes over here. So let's try to see it somewhere from this level. Okay. So at this moment, it was in green and health, right? Look at the
Yeah.
score. Look at the CCI value. Look at the score. We can go a bit fast on this. So you just see over here, it turned orange. It again turned green. It turned orange. It is toggling between orange and green over here, if you see, right? But overall, it has been creating a new lower high. It turned blue. It turn blue and orange. Previously it was green and orange, now it is toggling blue and orange, right? So overall it's getting degraded.
So there can be this confusion, right, during the small greens or small blues.
Not unless you are aware of the concept, so you would already see that lower highs are there. There's a higher high, lower high,
So
another
unless
lower
that
high,
score is
lower high, lower high, score again it is getting degraded. So there are enough indications over here, and plus if you are using a tracker, so it will give you a buy and sell accordingly as well. So it will give a sell over here, then it will give a buy, then again it will give a sell, it will give a buy, then again it will give a sell over here, then it will give a buy, then again sell, and so on. That is for your usage.
okay. Can you go back to the three lines on TACCI?
Yeah.
Yeah. And can you move the cursor like we see price at one point, right? So I want to see the values at one point. Can we do like that?
Okay, yeah, that values, these are the values.
Can we go click on any brown? Can I see the same four values on any brown there?
Brown. I'm not able to understand which one
No.
here.
Let's say I want to see the price. I want to see this box
Mhm.
on May 26, for example.
May 26th. So obviously you have to
Yeah. If I click
go.
here, I can see the
Yeah,
box.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can see if you click over here, you will see May 20, January, February, March, April, May. May
Can I see
25,
CCI, four CCI values?
26, 26. Yeah. If you see this over here, this is May 26, and at that time you will see what the information is there.
Ah, okay, like this. Okay.
Right at that moment, because it's a live thing, you will see what indications it is actually giving.
Okay. Yeah.
Fine. So I think that should be good. If you have more questions, we can take up those. Probably recording, maybe I can stop. If there's something
Okay.
more, we
Thanks.
can take that.